she was just kind of like, mira, yo no quiero esto para ti, quiero algo mejor.
What is up, everyone? I'm your host, Alannized, and this is Noche de Pendejadas, your favorite podcast turned talk show en donde yo traigo a tus influencers favoritos para platicar y posiblemente sacarle sus trapitos al sol. Hoy les tengo un episodio, amigas, que yo, igual que ustedes, sé que están súper emocionadas de escuchar. So without any further ado, please help me welcome my guest tonight, Tati!
Hey, bitches, es Tati.
Hello, ¿cómo estás, amiga?
Bien, acabo de llegar yesterday, so it's been a little, crazy, but here I am.
Aquí
Llegamos.
estás.
I didn't die, bitch, I didn't die.
Lo bueno que llegó, amiga, safe and sound. Si no, yo fuera el responsable, imagínate ya no.
Mi mami
no
no
me
te
la acabara,
perdona,
no
no
me
te
la acabara.
perdona.
That's why whenever I fly anyone out, you guys, I always be like, text me when you land, text me when you're in the hotel, para saber que le llegaste bien.
No,
you know what I
literally.
mean? But I'm so excited que estás aquí con nosotros el día de hoy. This has been a while in the making. I hit you up, maybe a month ago?
Yeah, about
and
a month
we
ago.
were like, let's try to figure out a date, you guys. I was literally apologizing to Tati because I'm not gonna lie, you guys. Yo me gusta decir y pensar que soy bien profesional, pero este mes y con Tati no lo fui. I feel like I kept ghosting. Did you at any moment think I wasn't gonna hit you
where's
up?
he at? I was like, he don't want me in the podcast no more.
You're like, is it not happening? Literally.
But I was like, you know what? Coochie lips crossed. We're gonna be there. We're gonna make it there.
Yeah, aquí está,
Y aquí
amigas,
estamos.
literal. You know what it is? It's because el mes de marzo, amigas, literal, es mi cumpleaños, es el cumpleaños de mi nephew, es el cumpleaños de mi cuñada, y luego en una semana es el cumpleaños de mi novio.
Booked and busy.
So I'm literally like booked back to back every single weekend in March. That literally my mind is like, okay, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. That I was like, okay, I'm gonna get to Tati's, but when it gets closer to the date.
Yeah,
that's literally what it was. I booked your hotel, the night before you landed?
No, literally, I was like, is he ghosting me like my sneaky link did? Like, what's going on here?
Si ustedes la siguen on social media, ustedes saben that you post a lot and a lot of people love your contenido. Y yo estoy muy emocionado de tenerte aquí el día de hoy porque hoy voy a poder conocerte un poquito más, very far from just your content. Because I feel like, we talked last night un poquito de lo que íbamos a platicar el día de hoy y tenemos un episodio, amigas, lleno de mucho chisme y de mucho de cosas. So, antes de que empecemos con todo eso, yo te voy a pasar a ti el micrófono para que nos digas un poquito más de quién eres y qué haces.
Hey guys, well, my name is Tatiana, but I go by Tati, and on social media, y'all know me as Virgo Tati. I always take y'all bitches with me to my lunch dates, to my everyday life, but I'm also 28, and I'm also a mom, and a lot of you bitches don't know that. Like, y'all think the gremlin is my brother. The gremlin is my son. He came out of... And I'm also from the DFW. A lot of people thought that I was from LA. No, bitch, Ag Town. I'm from the Ag. I came straight from Arlington, and here we are. We made it.
You know what's so funny? Yo también pensaba que vivías en California, güey.
Everybody said that the vibes is giving LA. I was like, this is just the vibes. This is just Tati.
What is it like to live in Texas? Cuéntanos un poquito más de tu vida en Texas. What is like your day-to-day life in Texas cuando no andas de viaje, amiga?
Pues cuando no ando de viaje siempre estoy en la casa con mi hijo, pero en la mañana I have to wake up early. I have to be up by 7. My kid goes to school at 7:30 and I'm a mom, but a lot of you guys don't know I'm a single mom. So, baby, I'm mommy and daddy all the time. So I got to clock in at 7. I wake up, go get my son ready for school, take him to school. And then right after school, I got to get home, arreglarme las greñas y para el trabajo because we got to work.
Si no, los biles no se pagan.
No se pagan.
Si no, viene el landlord y te saca la verga. Literal. A lot of people don't know that you're a mom.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. They just think that's like my younger brother. No, I've been doing this since I was 18 years old. I was a teen mom as well.
Y vamos a platicar todo de eso, amigas. Yo estoy muy emocionado para poder escuchar un poquito más de tu historia. ¿Y sabes qué? Yo pienso que los nervios ya se nos fueron.
Ya se fueron.
La miro, you guys. Estaba diciendo que andaba bien nerviosa y ahorita la miro, like, as soon as the camera turned on, she was like, all right,
no,
vine a trabajar. You're like, vine a
I'm like, I'm locked in. We're locked in.
I love that, though, because I was telling her that I'm so used to people being nervous, which I feel like it's okay, especially because llegas, entras, miras todas estas cámaras, and you're like, güey, yo estoy impuesto a grabar con mi telefonito. But you film on the DJI, right?
I do.
You
I
like
just
that
recently
shit.
got it. I love it. It's like so. It's why?
I hate the
I'm like,
DJI. My
¿por
boyfriend
qué?
is like a DJI whore. On his vlogs, he loves them on his DJI. And I love them too. I love seeing like the quality and like cómo te sigue la pinche cámara. But whenever I try to film on the DJI, siento como que la cámara is too slow for me. Why? Because when I vlog for YouTube, yo sé de que, ¿cómo están, amigas? ¿Cómo están? Like, I be moving the
you're
camera.
moving a lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
and with the DJI, you can't move crazy.
Okay, I'm
no
not
te
gonna
sigue
lie to
bien.
you though. Como que tienes que ajustar a ella. Ella no se ajusta a ti, tú te ajustas a ella.
Y yo no quiero eso, amiga. Yo quiero que se ajusten a mí.
Hey, I
Literally.
feel you. Yo también.
Ya vamos a empezar con el episodio del día de hoy, amigas. We're going to go ahead and start off with la pregunta que a mí me encanta empezar with because I feel like it's very important to kind of understand you a little bit more. Yo quiero saber cómo fuiste tú en tu infancia. How was Tati's growing up? Cuéntanos, amiga.
Mi mami dijo que siempre era una niña rebelde porque yo no me recuerdo cuando estaba chiquita. Poquito. Yo creo de los 3 años para arriba me recuerdo de todo. Mi mami dice que tengo una memoria como impecable o algo así. Cuando yo crecí con mi mamá y mi papá hasta los 3 años de edad. Y luego mi papá se vino para acá, se vino para los United States, I guess. You know, they wanted to live the American dream. You know, every single Latino parent wants to live the American dream. Because a lot of people don't know, like, no soy mexicana, soy salvadoreña, I'm a little pupusa. I was born there. My dad came here when I was 3, and my mom was basically a single mom. My uncles too, like my uncle and my 2 uncles del lado del parte de mi mamá, ellos ya estaban aquí. Yo solo me recuerdo estar con mi mamá y mi papá nos mandaba dinero, pero no era así mucho a cantidades, porque yo creo que la gente siempre se pone a pensar que solo porque la gente viene acá, que la vida es fácil, que la vida es un dream. The American dream, baby, it's not a dream. You gotta chase it. You gotta hustle. You gotta put in the work to receive. You know, it's not just gonna come easy. So my dad came over here. He was here for about 6 months. And I feel like after those 6 months, that's whenever my parents like divorced. They kind of split up. They weren't together. My dad cheated on my mom with her brother's wife. So
Your mom's brother's wife?
yes. So like
So la cuñada.
Mi tía basically,
cuñada.
pero parte de mi tío. Yeah, escandaloso. Yeah, and then my mom se puso los huevos y dijo, "No, es que a mí no me van a hacer así." Like mi mami siempre ha sido bien chingona. You know?
Eso sí.
Siempre como que si me hacen uno, pues ya no me hagan más. So my mom was just like, "You know what? Así está
Pero
bien."
¿cómo se dio cuenta tu mamá? Like, was it just like, were they very public about their
No,
relationship?
she told her. Like, it wasn't like they were together. It was just like un little spicy moment. Like, en el momento, they did their thing. Bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. Y pensó que le iba a hacer así a mi mamá. Y mi mamá dijo, no soy tu pendeja. Tal vez de otra, pero no. Yo no soy la pendeja. He told my mom that he cheated on her. My mom was like, está bien. Ya no más. And then she cut it off, and it was just me and my mom for a very long time. That's why I always say me and my mom are literally like mejores amigas. Like, that's my everything.
Nos cuentas de que tu papá le pone los cuernos a tu mamá. Essentially, she becomes a single mom contigo en El Salvador. Did you continue having a relationship with your dad afterwards, or was it kind of just rocky after that?
Honestly, it was just kind of rocky. I didn't really speak to him. It was just kind of me and my mom. That's all I remember. And after that, like, obviously it was just me and her, and we were in El Salvador. And if you really know, like, it's really poverty over there. Like, there's not a lot of jobs, and she had a kid. Like, she can't just say, hey, I'm gonna go look for a job, you know? She didn't have nobody else supporting her. Her mom was in Guatemala, so it was just me and her. So I just remember, like, we would literally eat café con tortillas y eso era todo. O se ponía a vender yuca. I don't know if y'all eat that like Mexicans do, but like yuca es como una papa. So la vendía preparada, la hacía con salsa y nos poníamos.
She was a hustler.
She was a hustler. She was always a hustler. So we would be outside and she would be selling it, and that's how like she would make her living, right? But once I turned 5, she was like, you know what, basta más. Like, I want something better for you. And then also I had a brother. Let me backtrack a little bit. So since my mom, I'm sorry, Mom, I'm putting your business out there. But since, you know, mi dad se la hizo, ¿verdad? So mi mamá dijo, you know, fuck this.
Te la regreso.
Te la regreso. So then she had like a best friend. They ended up doing their thing. And here comes my brother. Here comes my little brother. So it was me, my mom, and my brother. And I'm like, girl, ¿por qué hiciste eso?
Pero tu mamá no se juntó con ese best friend.
No, they were just really
bebé.
good friends.
Okay.
Yeah, they just had a baby. Because she was just like, you know, she
Just
was heartbroken.
Yeah,
she was heartbroken. So she was like, te la voy a hacer y te la voy a hacer bien. So she did. It was just me, my mom, and my brother. And she, like I said, she was doing her little side hustles, vendiendo yuca, vendiendo esto, vendiendo lo otro. And we had family over there. But it was just kind of like, I don't know. I just feel like my family's never been there for my mom. So it was just me and her and my brother, her trying to hustle. And then after she had my brother, it was like 6 months into my brother being born, she was just kind of like, you know what? Quiero algo más para ustedes. Like, ustedes no se merecen esta vida. I'm going to go to the U.S.
Cuéntanos de eso, amiga. Do you remember the moment she told you? Cuéntanos un poquito de ese momento, cómo te dice tu mamá, ¿sabes qué, mija? Aquí no la vamos a hacer, yo quiero algo mejor para ti, para tu hermano, me voy a ir a los Estados Unidos sin ti. Cuéntanos de ese momento, cómo te dijo y cómo te hizo sentir en ese momento.
I'm like, I'm sorry.
No, you're good, you're good.
Well, she was just kind of like, mira, yo no quiero esto para ti, quiero algo mejor. Yo ya sufrí, porque mi mamá siempre ha sufrido demasiado. También cuando ella estaba chiquita, su mamá los dejó, so ella se creó con su papá.
Okay.
So ella dijo, yo quiero ser una buena mamá, nunca quiero ser lo que mi mamá fue. So when she told me, she was just kind of like, I want something better for us. Like, I'm going to be leaving. I didn't know she was going to be leaving out of the country, though. Girl.
Yeah, you're like, yo pensé que te ibas a ir a la esquina, güey.
No, literally. So, me dijo, y luego, pues, a los días se va. Y luego, bueno, antes de que se fuera, me dijo, y luego fuimos a donde me dijo, te vas a ir con tu abuela. Mind you, I didn't really, like, talk to my grandma like that, because, like I said, like, my grandma was never there for my mom.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't really raise them. Her dad did. But at this time, I was only, like, 5. So, it had only been, like, about 2 years since my dad left. 1.5 years since they split up.
Yeah.
So, when she tells me this, I'm just like heartbroken because, like I said, that my mom has always been my best friend.
Era tu todo.
Era mi todo. She was like, te voy a ir a dejar con tu abuela porque nadie te va a cuidar mejor que tu abuela. So I was like, you know what? Pues no se le hace nada. I can't do nothing about it. Like, I'm going to have to go. So she takes us to my grandma. Mind you, my brother is 6 months old. So he's literally just a baby. Like,
¿También a tu hermanito lo deja con tu grandma?
Nos dejó juntos. So nos fuimos para Guatemala. Estábamos en El Salvador, pero mi abuela vivía con su esposo en Guatemala. So nos fuimos para Guatemala y ahí ella fue los que nos cuidó. So everything, at first, I feel like it was fine with my grandma. But she was just like, I feel like my grandma has always been the type of person that she's kind of those kind of moms that prefer men over their kids, you know? So yo no sé por qué mi mamá pensó que era una buena idea dejarnos ahí. But I just think she was really just trying to do whatever was best for us. So she goes and she lives us with my grandmas. At first, everything was fine. Like, mi mamá le mandaba dinero porque pues tenía sus dos hijos. So mi mamá se vino acá. And mind you, I was very heartbroken about that because that's all I knew. And I didn't really ever share moments with my grandma. So it's really hard to adjust to school, to being with her, to not having my mom. And I didn't really get to talk to my mom like that. My mom's sending her money, but my grandma literally, like, as bad as this sounds, like, and I have forgave her, but I'm never going to forget. She was like I feel like an evil stepmom, por decir, because she loved my little brother porque él era un bebé. So era como su bebé. And she never raised her kids, so that was like her first time actually being una mamá. So whenever I got there, I was also living with her husband's daughter, which she was like about my age. I would say she was probably like a couple years older than me, like 2 years older than me. Me and her like just kind of stuck together. Like when I met her, it was just kind of like, this is my sister, you know? My mom's sending her money and she's putting us on the phone like, dile que te duele esto, dile que te falta esto.
Sin que les doliera nada.
Sin que nos doliera nada. Ajá. Ella solo quería sacarle dinero a mi mamá porque su esposo lo iba a traer. Él era el que iba a sacar el dinero cuando mi mamá le mandaba dinero. Ajá. Él lo iba a sacar. Y me recuerdo esos días cuando él iba a agarrar el dinero, cuando mi mamá mandaba dinero, él se iba y no regresaba como hasta las 10, 11 de la noche bien borracho con tal vez $100 o menos.
Con el dinero de tu mamá ya gastado.
Ya gastado. Nosotros no agarrábamos ni siquiera una porción, pero siempre mi abuela nos manipulaba a que dijéramos, oh, dile esto a tu mamá que necesitas esto para la escuela, para las camas, para esto y para el otro, pero nunca nos daba nada. Pero a mi hermano, yo digo que a mi hermano nunca nada le faltó. porque era como su guardian angel.
Yeah.
Para nosotras, a mí yo creo que me miraba más como una sirvienta o algo, porque yo no podía ir a la escuela si no limpiaba y
¿A la escuela?
A la escuela. Si no limpiaba o cocinaba. Y mind you, like, we're in Guatemala, so there's no electric stoves. There, like, it sounds crazy, but there's no electric stoves. There's no, like, water like that. So I literally had to sit there and build a fire, like, and make tortillas, grind coffee beans, and make coffee. If not, I'm not going to school.
At 5 years old.
Yeah, I'm not going to school. Because she just didn't have no sympathy for me. And I feel like that's how she was with my mom. And I'm literally my mom's twin. So maybe it was like seeing a reflection of her. I don't know.
¿Y también trataba mal así a la otra muchachita?
Sí, las dos. So nosotras éramos como like, literally like, si fuera la Cinderella and like the two evil stepsisters, but we were just the two Cinderellas.
Yeah.
Like, we were scrubbing floors, cleaning the whole house. My brother was living luxury, which I don't blame him, you know. I'm like glad that you got to live that life. But nosotras sí nos trataba mal. I remember one time, like, they had sent us to the grocery store. Y mind you, we were en bicicleta. Like, ella atrás y yo adelante así parada en la bicicleta. Y vamos a traer pan. Y nos sobró como, no sé, creo que ya son quetzales el dinero.
Like the dinero,
Ajá. So nos sobró unos quetzales y compramos chocolate. And we ate it on the way home because we knew, like, we can't show up to the house with chocolate because we're going to get our ass whooped. So we show up, right? And we're like, you know, estamos bien. Like, somos inteligentes.
Yeah.
No nos van a cachar. No, she knew. Like, tenía el dinerito bien contado y nos dijo, ¿y a dónde está el cambio? Y le dije, y nosotros como que, ¿cuál cambio, abuela? ¿Cuál cambio? Y luego ella dice, no, pues el cambio del pan, porque no nos trajeron cambio. And then we just finally told her, like, I'm sorry, like, because she kept telling us, like, ¿a dónde está el cambio, mi cambio? Y yo, pues, ¿a dónde me lo saco? Que ya me lo comí. So then, we go, right? And then we just tell her, we're like, you know what? Es que nos compramos un chocolate. We got our ass beat por un chocolate y era el dinero de mi mamá.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, she would do crazy stuff like that. Like, any little things, el cabezo, la cabeza, te agarras de la cabeza, o te voy a pegar por esto. No podíamos hacer nada. Okay, estamos ahí como, like, cleaning ladies.
Yeah.
Like, y'all gotta do this and that, go to school, come home, and shut the fuck up.
Do you feel like you guys would kind of do more chores in the house than she would?
She wouldn't do anything. She wouldn't do anything, like literally.
So she literally was like, son mis esclavos.
Exactamente. Yo y
Literal.
ella somos como su esclava. Tú haces esto y si no lo haces, pues ya vas a ver. Yo ya sabía como que, oh, okay, like I just gotta do what I gotta do to get through it. And honestly, at that time, I thought I was never gonna see my mom again because it had, by this time, I've been there like a year now, you know? So I kind of had got adjusted to that life.
Like you're like, oh, this is my new life. Mi mamá ya se olvidó de mí. Did you ever tell your mom what was going on, like over the phone, what was going on there?
I wasn't able to tell my mom anything because every time, like, I was on the phone with my mom, it was always like she was right there. Like, my grandma's like right there, like, ¿qué le vas a decir? ¿Qué vas a hacer? Y vas a hacer esto y le vas a decir esto porque si no, ya vas a ver. And the thing was, like, I was really scared because, like, this is the person that's taking care of me. This is the person that's supposed to care for me, but really doesn't care about me at all, you know? And my mom, like, ella no tenía ni idea. So I can't blame her. I did resent her for a while, I would say, because I'm like, ¿me dejaste? Like,
yeah.
And you knew that she was crazy. But I can say, like, I forgive my grandma for a lot of stuff, but I'm not going to forget. And I mean, that's basically it, I feel.
Do you feel like you have a relationship with her now at all?
I used to talk to her. Like, I used to talk to her for a while because when I came here, I told my mom, like, everything. Like, I told our family because ellos se enteraron, ¿verdad? Ella nos castigaba por todas las cosas. Like, I don't know if you know what, like, maíz is. Like, allá cuando hacen la masa is like maíz. So when we would get grounded, she would put, like, the actual hard seeds on the floor and we would have to get on our knees and just sit there for, like, hours. Like, hasta que nos diga, like, levántate. O si se levantan, like, we literally would get up and we'll have, like, the maíz imprinted on our knees from, like, her just, like, if she wants you to stay there for 2 hours, you're going to do it, or you're going to deal with the consequences, or you're going to be there even longer. Yeah. So it was stuff like that. But it would just be the smallest things. Like, we couldn't laugh about certain things. We couldn't say certain things. Porque si a ella no le gusta, no iba.
¿Cómo se dieron cuenta la familia que vivía a su alrededor? Like you mentioned, you know, some of your guys' family members or just people you guys knew in Guatemala found out de lo mal que los estaba tratando tu abuelita. ¿Cómo se dieron cuenta y cómo reaccionaron esas personas?
I think I was like 8 years old, right? So la mamá de ella, my great grandma, was like, hey, I'm gonna come visit the kids because I guess my mom told her like, hey, ve a checar a ver cómo están los niños, ya llevan tiempo que no los miran. My great grandma came to Guatemala and they came and stayed with me. I don't remember si vino una de mis tías, creo que vino una de mis tías y vino mi abuela, right? So when they come, obviously nobody knew the living situation. They knew my brother was good. So like they seen him, they spent a couple days with us, but it was bad to the point where like we didn't even have beds. Like it was like the little, because over there no hacen las camas como lo hacen aquí. Yeah. It wasn't like wood, it was like springs. Like that's what me and her were sleeping on. Me and his what's it called? Her husband's la hija de él. So we were just sleeping in those springs and they were staying in beds. And I guess my abuela was just like, what the hell? Like, porque nadie se daba cuenta. Everybody just thought we were happy because I had no choice. I couldn't tell anybody.
You had to fake it.
Yeah, I had to fake it because if I didn't fake it, then that was my ass. Like, I didn't know what she could do. You never knew. Like, whatever she could grab, whatever she could hit me with, she didn't care. And she didn't really care about me. Like, I could feel it, you know? Because I saw my brother. There was a difference between my brother and me. Like, my brother was cool. He was chilling. He was living his best life. Si quería chocolate, si quería coca.
Toma,
si quería...
mijo, toma.
Like, even one year, I remember... I was like, hey, grandma, like, I really want those, like, really fluffy dresses for my birthday because I just want to feel like a princess. So she made me, she was like, you know what? Well, tell your mom, ¿por qué no le dices a tu mamá? Ella está allá en los Estados Unidos. Ella hace dinero. Mind you, too, like, my mom had some kids when she came here.
Okay.
So I do have 2 other siblings. So I have 2 brothers and a sister. So when she came here, when she had 2 kids, like, I was really mad. I'm not going to lie. I was really mad at my mom because I was like, why are you having more kids and you have 2 kids over here? And, like, my life sucks, you know? Like, I just hated my life.
And that's why you resented her even more during that time?
Mm-hmm. For sure. Like, I feel like I hated her at one time, you know? Because I was like, how did you go from being my best friend to not caring about me, and then you have 2 kids and you're just living the perfect family life over there?
Mientras que yo sufro acá.
Because she had a new boyfriend, and they had a little baby boy at first, and then they had a little baby girl. So I'm like, is she replacing me? Like, it kind of felt that way. So I kind of resented her for a while about that. But, like, yo creo que nunca entiendes lo que alguien pasa or, like, what actually happened in between until, like, that I'm older now. Like, I understand why she made the decisions that she made. And she wasn't trying to leave me behind. She really just wanted something better for herself. And my stepdad was just there to support her. So the love just kind of came.
You know, a los 8 años te dan la noticia de que pues tú también ya te ibas a venir a los Estados Unidos. Cuéntanos un poquito de ese momento, quién te da la noticia y cómo tú recibiste esa noticia. I'm assuming you were so excited, you were happy. Cuéntanos un poquito más, you know, de eso and cómo llegaste acá a los Estados Unidos.
Going back to, like, my grandma seeing everything that we were going through, you know, at least me, she told my mom, like, tu hijo, él está bien. Él vive como un príncipe. Like, he's good. Like, ellos lo cuidan. Pero la Tati, tienes que llevarte a la Tati. Like, la Tati está sufriendo mucho con tu mamá. So, they told my mom. And even though, like, mi mamá sí era mi mejor amiga cuando se fue. Pero fast forward, ya han pasado 3 años. So, even though my grandma treats me, like, terribly, I have, like, a trauma bond to her. Like, no me quiero ir. Like, I'm like, porque estaba en la escuela y me recuerdo que cuando salí de la escuela mi abuela me dice, te vas a ir para los United States con tu mamá. Y le digo, ¿de veras? Y yo le digo, no, yo no me quiero ir, mami. Like, yo no me quiero ir, porque eso yo le decía a mami también. Le digo, yo no me quiero ir. No, pues te vas a tener que ir. Tu mamá dijo que te vas a ir y te vas a ir el lunes. And it was like Friday. So it was like only a couple days.
Like pack your shit y te vas.
Ya te tienes que ir.
¿Y nomás tú o también tu hermano?
No, solo yo. Porque como te digo, le dijeron a mi mamá que mi abuela lo trataba bien. So, I guess I don't know if my mom didn't have the funds because it was a very last minute thing. Y ella siempre, sí, mi mamá sí nos preguntaba like, hey, se quieren venir. Y yo siempre como que no, because I just, like I said, I was like, at that time, I just resented her a little bit because I'm like, you done moved on, you have a whole new family. Like, aunque no era la mejor vida que he vivido, era mi vida en ese tiempo. Y ella era como mi mamá porque, pues, tenía 5 años cuando mi mamá se fue y ya tenía 8 años. So, I had been with my grandma, like, a couple years at that point. So, I was very attached to her. And I would say it was like a trauma bond. Like, she would treat me terrible, but I still loved her. Like, that's still my grandma. That was still the person that was looking after me.
Yeah.
She tells me, she's like, el viernes me dice, pues, empacas tus cosas, las cositas que tienes, y te vas. Te tienes que ir para El Salvador, porque también tus tías se van a venir. Y yo le digo, pues, okay. Like, I really didn't have a say-so. Like, I kind of just had to get my stuff and go. Like, I couldn't say no, I couldn't say yes. It was just like, you gotta go. So, me sentía así como que, ay, yo no sé cómo sentirme. Me siento triste porque mi hermano, mi abuela, like, ellos están aquí. Yo no sé si voy a llegar o no voy a llegar, y luego voy a estar con todas esas personas que no he visto hace tiempo, porque ya tenía tiempo, como 3 años que no miraba a todas mis tías. El lunes viene y nos vamos para El Salvador. O yo me voy para El Salvador solita. Llego, y luego mis tías me están diciendo, oh, ¿estás lista? Vámonos, nos vamos a ir, vas a ir a ver a tu mamá, todo va a estar bien, no te preocupes. Y yo como que está bien. But I didn't really have a say, so I was just a kid.
Yeah,
like,
you were just going with whatever was going on.
Yeah, and I couldn't say no. Like, they're like, bitch, you gotta go. I'm like, okay, I'm going. So, eran como, creo que tres de mis tías que se vinieron. Luego de que llegué a El Salvador, luego nos recogieron los coyotes, creo que así se dice. Primero todo iba bien, porque yo iba con mis tías, so I'm like, oh, it's a road trip, like, aquí andamos. Y luego, de repente nos dicen, hey, la niña, ella se va a tener que venir sola. Ustedes van por su lado y la niña se va sola. Y yo como que, ¿qué? No. Y luego si no llego, y luego si me trafican o algo, porque yo no sé.
Yeah.
Y era chiquita, o sea, no sabía qué pensar. Me sentía como a gusto porque ellas estaban conmigo, pero ya que ya no estaban, dije yo, ¿y
¿Qué
ahora
va a ser
qué?
de mí?
¿Qué va a ser de mí? Nos separan y luego vamos como a diferentes casas. No me recuerdo exactamente lo que pasó, pero me recuerdo que llegué a México y me estaban diciendo, porque yo tenía mi acento así guatemalteco, y en Guatemala hablamos bien rápido. Like, it's like, like se escucha
like,
como,
espérate.
No, se escucha como gibberish. So they're like, no, tienes que decir eso. Como like, una soda, tienes que decir soda, no gaseosa, no tienes que decir eso. So they were kind of telling me like, hey, you can't say these things because they're going to be on to you.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yes. So we just go to a couple of houses. I remember going to Mexico. Everybody was really nice, though, because it wasn't just me. It was a couple other kids. Like, I was with a couple other kids, and I had met, like, a little best friend there. Like, it was a little boy. So me and him kind of stuck it out together throughout the whole time. And once we got to Mexico, they're like, okay, like, y'all are going to go with her in a truck, this older lady. And she had, like, this big house. Like, I was like, damn, parezco que estoy en las novelas. Like, ¿qué es esto? Because en Guatemala, las casitas son chiquitas, and they're not made with the same materials. You know, like, we have dirt floors inside the house. Like, that's normal. We don't have a gas stove. She had a gas stove. There was, like, SpongeBob on the TV. I'm like, ¿qué es esto? Estoy en una novela. Like, this is the life.
Yeah.
Right?
You're like, I want to live here.
No, can I just stay here?
Yeah.
Can I just stay here? But the lady was really nice. Like, I remember we got tacos, and then we got in her truck, and for some reason, thank the Lord. Like, the Lord's always there for me. God's always there for me, porque yo me duermo, right? Y luego me despierto y me dicen, ¿estás en California? Y yo como que, ¿qué? ¿Ya? They're like, yeah, estás en California. I'm like, what? Like, ya pasó todo. Porque yo tenía mucho miedo. No sabía que si me iba a agarrar a alguien o si estas personas son buenas, you know? So, ya estábamos en California y me dicen, nos dicen a nosotros, porque si vamos en una troca y eran otras personas diferentes y nos dicen, hey, and I was with like my little best friend I had met on the way here, and he was like, hey, uno de ustedes is gonna get dropped off. And I'm over here living the good life, like, no me, que no sea yo. I'm like, que no sea yo, por favor. And it was me. Long and belong. Like, it was me. They're like, they're dropping you off.
¿A dónde?
I get dropped off with a tía in California. Okay. I meet my tía. It's like it's my abuela's sister. So, mi tía, what would you call that? Materna? Mi tía?
Okay.
I get dropped off with her. And honestly, like, I stayed with her, I think, como por un mes y medio, 2 meses, because I loved it. Like, ella tenía otra hija que era mi prima, y ella también estaba en El Salvador cuando estaba chiquita. So, yo y mi prima éramos como amigas también. Yo creo que allá todos somos más unidos, o todos los primos son como mejores amigos. Like, you don't really have best friends, you have like cousins. When I got with my tia, then my prima was there, so it made me feel a lot more comfortable. And my like tia hasn't really, like, she didn't really raise her kids. Like her mom also took care of her kids, but her mom was a good grandma, you know? So, because my tia would always send money, so they were always raised good. So, since my prima was here, I was a little more comfortable. And my tia was there. She also had a boyfriend at the time. So, when I got here, my tia's like, also, what's going on? Because they were asking me, like, ¿qué pasó con tu abuela? Like, because nobody knew.
¿Por qué te veniste?
Ajá, ¿por qué
yo
te
hacía
veniste?
allá.
¿Qué te hizo tu abuela? Porque escuché esto, escuché el otro de mi mamá, porque es la mamá de las dos. So, I kind of just told all of them, like, pasó esto, ella me trataba mal, como que no me quería, yo era como su sirvienta, mi mamá nos mandaba dinero, nosotros nunca recibíamos lo que era necesario, lo que era de nosotros prácticamente, porque para eso se vino mi mamá. Everybody was just like very sympathetic. Like, por primera vez sentí que alguien cared, you know? But again, like, nobody knew. Like, sometimes I feel bad because I'm like, I resented all these people, pero ellos no sabían. Like,
ellos ni en cuenta.
Ellos no sabían lo que estaba pasando. So she was like, pues te vamos a ir a traer ropa. We're going to go to Santa Monica. Like, I remember we went to like little boutiques, and I was always like a Barbie girl. Like, I always been a super girly girl. Like, I love makeup. I love like little fashion stuff. So we went to like a couple little boutiques here in LA, and she bought me a bunch of like little matching sets, and I just felt like a Bratz doll. Like, I just felt like it was just a whole new life. Like, it just felt so different.
Like it was like a huge transition.
Yeah, because I came from having nothing, like, to just being, it felt like I was in a novela and I was like la protagonista or something, you know?
You're like, cuando llega el fin?
No, literally.
End?
Literally. So, like, we would go and, like, she would do little stuff for me. Me vistió bien bonito y me llevaba a Santa Mónica. Íbamos a jugar los juegos. Like, she just treated me like I was her own.
Yeah.
To the point where I felt like I was like, no me quiero ir. Like, I just kept getting adjusted. Like, I was like, I don't want to go. Because my mom ya se estaba desesperando.
Yeah.
Like, I'm her daughter, you know.
So, tu mamá en ese tiempo sí te estaba pidiendo, like, ya, tráiganmela, tráiganmela. Okay.
But I think it was, like, difficult to get me over there because I had to go on a plane. And then nobody was driving over there with, like, the whole immigration stuff, you know. Like, I'm here legally.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have an ID. I don't have a passport. Like, I can't just get on a plane and say, bye. Like, I'm going to Texas. So I don't know what they did, pero creo que a los 2 meses que he estado con mi tía y que me peleé a mi mamá, no, dame mi hija, porque mi tía estaba como que no, estoy encantada, like, que se quede aquí, yo me la quedo. I was like, no, la necesito. So somehow, some way, my stepdad now, which I consider him my dad, like, even though he is my stepdad, he's always been the one to be there.
Yeah, like your father figure.
Yeah, for sure. Like, si yo necesito cambio de aceite, there he goes. Mi inspección, there he goes. A tire change, there he goes, you know? And I never had that, but for the longest, it wasn't like that. So one of his sisters was like, yo la voy a traer. I don't know exactly what they did, but somehow I was on a plane. And I'm like, whoa, like, life has been so crazy this last 30 days. Like, I'm literally living a movie. So we get on a plane, and then I get to Texas. And then my mom, I remember my mom and my stepdad, or I would say dad, my mom and my dad picked me up, and they had my siblings there, and everything was just so weird. Like, I just felt so awkward because at that point it had been so long. Like, my mom wasn't my mom, you know? Like, she was my mom, but era como una extraña. Like, I don't know you. You're a stranger danger. Like, me sentía como que I had to, like, cover myself and guard myself because I just feel like she did nothing but hurt me, even though it wasn't her intentions, you know? Like, she really just wanted better for me. So they picked me up, and we're in a car, and everything is just so weird because, like, I never been in a car. I, like, you know, like, I was literally riding a bike a week ago, and now we're in a car driving to an apartment. So they pick me up, and we go to their apartment, and I'm like, oh, this is nice.
This is nice.
Like, this is fancy. And now I have 2 other siblings. Like, I'm like, what's going on? So I finally get here. Me and my mom, I feel like for months, like, yo estaba triste. Like, I would try to go to sleep, but I would cry every time. Like, I would cry myself to sleep. My mom would be like, girl, it's okay. Like, you're going to be okay. You're going to see your brother soon. But I was just so, even though that life wasn't great, I was so attached to my life.
Yeah.
Like, back in Guatemala, because it had been so long. And that's my brother, too, you know? Like, I also miss my brother. So I would just cry myself to sleep. And then finally, I feel like a couple months after, like, we finally started school, it was kind of difficult to kind of get me in school. And school had already started. It was like 3 months into school already. So it was like a little process. And mind you, I don't speak any English. Like, no hablo inglés. Like, what's going on? Mind you, over there, I think I was barely like in first grade. Like educación allá como que no les importa.
Como que está más retrasada,
Bien retrasada. Because I was 8 and I was like in first grade. Because pre-K, I swear I was in pre-K for like 3 years. Like, that's what it felt like. I get here and I'm like, I'm in 3rd grade. Like, what the heck? Like, how did I get here? Like, how did I already get to 3rd grade?
But I'm about to graduate.
No, literally, that's what it feels like. Like, I'm about to get my degree.
You're in college now, babe.
So then I start going to school. And school, I honestly always liked school. Porque era como un escape. Even in Guatemala, like, I always like going to school. I was kind of like a bully to the boys. Never to the girls. I always been a girl's girl. But to the boys, like, I would bully them and pinch them, and I would always get in trouble for that. But I always loved going to school. Like, going to school in math, like, I'm really good at math. So once I started going to school, I was like, it's like a little escape from life, you know? Like, I get to meet new people, and I thought everything was going to be dandy. And everything was good, I feel like. But not knowing, like, not speaking English was, like, a huge barrier for sure. Because, like, y el dinero también era diferente. Like, over here is like dollars, over there son quetzales, y es completamente diferente. And I would get teased all the time. Like, they would be like, you don't speak English, you don't know what we're talking about. Like, you know how little girls are shysty, and like, they're like, no hablas inglés, no eres nada, or like, viniste de otro país, y que no sé qué.
Like, regrésate a tu país.
Yeah. And it'll be like Hispanic people, I'm like, girl, are you serious?
That is true, though. When I first came to this country, it was never white people bullying me. It was always our own kind.
Always our own kind, yeah. Like, it was like we're against each other. I'm like, I thought we were supposed to be cool. Yeah. Like, what's going on? So, yeah, they would always bully me about that. So I made it a point. Like, I was like, no, like, this, like, I'm going to learn English if it's the last thing I do. Yeah. I remember my teacher had called my mom into a meeting, and they were like, you know how back then the STAR test was a big thing?
Yeah.
So they're like, you have to pass the STAR test or no vas a poder pasar grado, porque 4th grade es puro inglés. Yeah. Because I believe 3rd grade, it was bilingual. So they did some Spanish, but era como 75% inglés, 25%
like,
español.
Just so the kids will have a little bit of Spanish,
yeah, like,
but they didn't prioritize it. Yeah,
I guess they called my mom in there, and it was my principal and I believe my teacher that went into a meeting, and they were like, if she doesn't pass the STAR test, she's not going to be able to go to 4th grade. Like, you can opt her out, though. Like, you can tell her she doesn't have to take it, and she's just going to stay in 3rd grade because she really needs to learn. Like, she really needs to learn English in order to move forward because we don't have any more bilingual programs. And my mom just kind of looked to me, and she was like, you make that decision porque tú sabes de lo que eres capaz. And I was like, no, like, I'm taking that test. I was like, I'm taking that test. Like, I'm learning English. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
So I took that test, and I passed it. And I knew that was going to happen. I was like, clock it.
Clock it.
So all the girls that didn't know I spoke English, baby, we're back. And we're bilingual now. I passed that test, and then I moved on to 4th grade. I can say, though, my school was always very helpful. Like, they always did, like, side little things. That way I could, like, learn a little bit more. So they would take me out of class and then take me to, like, learn.
Like ELD? Did you guys have ELD in Texas?
It was like ESL, I think.
Oh, it's like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like almost the same program vibes.
Yeah, I think same thing, different names.
Yeah.
So they would take us out of class. I was reading, like, 1st grade books in, like, 3rd or 4th grade. It was kind of embarrassing a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, pero me propuse, and I was just like, we're gonna do it, and I did it. Yeah.
I love that. You know, cuéntanos un poquito más. Obviamente, you go through school, te pones las pilas rápidamente, and you're like, you know what? Yo aquí no me hundo. A los 16 años, you apply for the DACA program. Para los que no saben, amigas, yo también soy un DACA recipient. Y básicamente, for those of you guys that don't know, it's a program que, gracias a Dios, it was implemented to help out, you know, those kids que vinieron at such a young age, para poder tener como un permiso de trabajo y aunque sea tener como una oportunidad de tener un futuro aquí en los Estados Unidos, aplicas. Y pues Agarras tu DACA, pero cuéntanos de cómo se dan cuenta del programa. What was it like applying? Were you and your mom scared de que qué tal que pasa algo mal? And what was the moment like for you when you got that letter that was like, you know what, you're approved? Cuéntanos de todo ese momento.
Even before, like, I got the DACA, I was already working. I think I was like freshman year 15 working because mi mamá me dio la opción. Like, si quieres trabajar, because she was working at a Sonic drive-in. So she was like, si quieres trabajar, like, you can come work with me and you can be the car help. And she was the cook. And I was like, you know what? Like, and she was like, you don't have to though. Because like, siempre tuve lo necesario. Like, we never had luxury, you know, but I had a good life. Like, living with my stepdad and my mom. Like, they always try to get us whatever they could. But I always wanted more. Like, I always been a little ambitious. So I was like, I want more. So when she gave me the option of working, I was like, you know what? Like, fuck it, let's go. Vámonos. So me and her started working together. So I would work a couple of days, but I would still get scared because obviously I didn't have the right identification. I didn't have a social security number. So it was a little scary, but I was making my own money at the time. So I remember when we got the news, mi mamá siempre, she's always been on top of stuff. So she was like, salió esto, vas a aplicar. Like, as soon as they gave us the option, she was like, you're going to do it, you know? And it was just kind of like, fingers crossed, like, vamos a ver qué.
Did you understand in that moment what the program was for? Or were you just like, oh, I don't know, I guess I gotta apply?
I was kind of like confused. No sabía casi. I feel like I was just like, and I feel like the times weren't as hard as they are now, you know? Like, so it was a little easy going. Like, you could find a job even if you were undocumented. Now it's like the times are not like that. So I just didn't understand. But my mom was like, this is something you need to do. Like, no sé dónde voy a sacar dinero, pero lo voy a sacar y tú lo vas a hacer. So I did it. And then I just remember when we got that letter, I feel like it was more relief for my mom. Like, como que, hey, like, all that hard work, all the stuff I've been through, like, it's paying off for my kids. Like, it felt really good. Because I could finally go to my job and be like, here's my ID and here's my social security. Because my parents wanted me, like, they wanted more for me, you know? Yeah. My mom said, like, she literally dropped out. I think she said, like, 3rd grade. Like, what? Like, you never went farther than that? She was like, no, we had to go to work. So she didn't want that for me. Obviously, she knew I was working, but she wanted something better. And I always been good at school. So I was doing, like, all honors classes. Like, I was doing really good at school because, like I said, it was my little escape. So I just loved being there. And I also used to play volleyball. So I just had friends. And at that time, I had a little boyfriend. So I was like, I want to be there, you know? So when we got that, it was just more security for her. And she's like, puede cumplir los sueños que ella quiere cumplir, all that stuff. So her being happy also made me happy. And then I just kind of continued to work. And I just knew, like, I wanted to go to school. I wanted to keep going to school.
What does being a dreamer mean to you now, en esta etapa de tu vida, ya de adulta?
Honestly, I feel like it means everything. Because, like, ya soy mamá. So, like, I can't stop dreaming. Like, and now my dreams are getting bigger than ever, I feel like. Like, just being here, it's like out of the body moment kind of thing. Because it's like, what the fuck? Like, pinch me in my tetas. Like, we're here. Like, we kind of made it. Like, I'm next to Alan. What's going on? Like, so I feel like it means everything to me right now, especially because I'm a mom. Like, and his dad is not really around. So it's really just me. He just has me and my mom and my parents. Because, like, somos como una little gang, I would say. Like, we stick together. I wouldn't say, like, the rest of my family, but, like, my mom, my brothers, my siblings, we're like a little gang. So we stick together. So the dreamer literally means everything to me. That's how I work. That's how I support my son. You know, that's how I get through life. That's how I pay my bills. Like,
literally. And I feel like the program en verdad que sí nos ha cambiado muchísimo la vida a nosotros and to all the dreamers, you know, watching or just to the dreamers in general, nos ha cambiado la vida porque en verdad que sí es como otra oportunidad. Hope that there is, you know, a pathway to citizenship later on because that would make things even better. Because I do feel like, you know, tú también llegas aquí a una temprana edad, yo también, and I feel like we've worked our asses, you know, no conocemos casi otra vida other than this. And I feel like, especialmente como ahorita está todo el gobierno, amigas, y con todo lo que está pasando, it is a little scary. You know what I mean? It is a little scary because no sabemos si el día de mañana todavía vamos a tener los mismos, like, the same
privileges. Because we are privileged.
Yes.
Like, because there's people that come over here and they're not able to get anything, you know? And the thing is, like, I feel like a lot of people see that like as a downside, you know? But people are really just trying to better their lives. And 9 times out of 10, if you are a dreamer like me, I don't even have a speeding ticket on my record.
Yeah.
Like, I have never been in trouble porque mi mamá siempre como que, hey, tienes tu permiso, no puedes hacer esto, no puedes hacer lo otro. Like, I always just try not to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even have a ticket in my name. So most of the dreamers are really just people trying to dream, trying to seek a better life. You know what I'm saying? Or just trying to accomplish their dreams. And really just thinking back on my life, like thinking back of where I came from, like con mi abuela y todo eso, like yo nunca pensé que iba a estar aquí. Like, this is literally my novela and I'm literally the fucking, the main character.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I never thought I would be here, like just sitting here or just having a car, having a kid, or just having a life and being alive is such a privilege. And it's something that I would have never even like thought that I would be here and accomplish.
Y yo
like,
pienso que sí, algo muy hermoso, you know what I mean? Y espero que if any of you guys are watching at home, que se sienten como de que no hay un futuro para ustedes en este país, you know, no pierdan las esperanzas, don't give up, keep working, porque primeramente Dios, amigas, sí va a haber, you know, that moment for you to either become a dreamer or salir adelante, you know. If you're struggling with your mental health, you can spend hours browsing online forums, scrolling social media, and reading expert advice to help you feel better. But while all these resources can be a good starting point, there's no replacement for real human relationships. It takes a real person to understand your human experience. So don't rely on generic advice online or on social media. Instead, use Alma to find a person who understands all the things that make you. That's why Alma makes it easy to connect with an expert therapist, a real person who can listen, understand, and support you through all your specific challenges. When you browse their online directory, you can filter by the qualities that matter to you. Then book a free 15-minute consultation with the therapist you're interested in seeing. Unlike other online therapy platforms that match you with the first available person, you can find someone you connect with on a personal level and see real improvements in your mental health with their support. Ustedes saben, amigas, the rough couple of months que he pasado. Hace más de 6 meses perdí a mi abuelito y honestamente yo siento que hubiera sido la oportunidad perfecta para empezar terapia, porque pues obviamente ustedes saben, dealing with grief is really hard and confusing, y siento como que si yo hubiera empezado terapia en ese momento, I feel like my grieving process would have been smoother. But it's never too late to start therapy. Better with people, better with Alma. Visit helloalma.com /Alan to get started and schedule a free consultation today. That's helloalma.com /ALAN. That is helloalma.com /Alan. The Great Rewards Hunt is on, so join the adventure with DraftKings Casino. For fun seekers, follow the trail to huge jackpots, weekly bonuses, and exclusive games. But the excitement is only getting started because new players can get 500 casino spins on a featured game. Just sign up with code NOCHE and wager a minimum of $5 to receive 500 casino spins on a featured game. Only on the most rewarding place to play, DraftKings Casino. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 and over. Physically present in Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Connecticut and Ontario. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Non-withdrawable casino spins valid for featured game only and expire in 168 hours. See terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Ends 4/27/25 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern.
Quiero platicar un poquito más de tu sophomore year. Conoces a un muchacho that later becomes, you know, your baby daddy. Cuéntanos un poquito de cómo se conocieron, who made the first move, y cómo era la relación al principio. Would you consider the relationship at the beginning, you know, healthy, or was it like toxic off the bat?
I would say it was healthy. So, like I said, I was working at Sonic. I wasn't working with my mom anymore because I had like some issues with the manager. So I had moved to a different Sonic and I was still being a car hop and I was going to school. And he was just a customer that would come up there. So I remember one day I just came into work and somebody was like, hey, Tati, like, somebody te dejó el número ahí para que le llames. And I was like, who? Like, and they're like, oh, so-and-so, te dejó el número, ahí está, si quieres llamarle, pues ahí les llamas. And I grabbed the number and I'm like, pa la basura, I don't even know who that is. Like, I'm not calling you.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how God works, porque en ese momento, él estaba en el parqueo. Like, he was there. And he hadn't even dropped off the number that day. It was the day before. So they were just regulars. They would be there every day. They were like, he's here. And I remember it was like one of my coworkers, I think her name was Jackie. She was like, está aquí, like he's outside. And then she goes out there and she's like, hey. And she waves him down. And then he comes and then I'm like, you left that number for me? Like, me, Tati. Like, it's not the other Hispanic girl? Because they had said something about like, oh, she's a Hispanic girl because there was another girl there too. And I was like, are you sure it wasn't her? He's like, no, like, I want you.
Yeah. He's like, I want that one.
And then I'm like, I was like, okay. So I started kind of talking to him for a little bit. I was like, you know what? I'll talk to him. Like, he's cute. He's a little fine shit. So I started talking to him, but like other girls there were friends with him y como que no me gustó porque a mí nunca me ha gustado un hombre que sea de muchas mujeres. You know, It's me and only me, and that's it. So he would talk to other girls, so I stopped talking to him for a while. But my manager, she was talking to his best friend. So, and me and her were best friends at the time. So she was like, why don't you talk to him? Like, háblale. And my parents trusted her, like, with their whole life. Like, my dad knew her, and my dad was really cool with the manager. She was older than me. She was 21, and I was, maybe, like, 17,
16.
Yeah. So, she would always take me home after work. When I would get off, she would be like, oh, no se preocupen, no vengan a traer la Tati, like, yo me la llevo. One night when I'm leaving, they come, obviously, she's talking to one of them, so he comes with his best friend, which my BD.
Yeah.
They come and she's like, go talk to him, like, go get in the car, because they were in their car and we were in her car. She was like, go get in the car, like, we're going to drive to the gas station. We go to the gas station and I get in the car with him and he's like, hey, so what's up with you? Like, why don't you talk to me? Why did you stop talking to me? Because even prior to that, he would always be like, let's hang out. And my parents were super strict. Like, no sales de esta casa si no vas a la escuela o vas al trabajo. Porque si es para otras pendejadas, no vas. Yeah, like my mom was super strict about that. Porque nunca quería que me pasara nada, you know? I would always cancel and then we finally stopped talking because he was talking to all these other girls that I thought he was talking to. But I don't know, in that moment, since my manager era bien confianzuda con el best friend and she was with the best friend, I was like, I should give him like a chance. So like we start talking. We talked for like about 2 weeks, right? And one day I'm supposed to get off early. But my manager like, le voy a decir a tu papá que vas a salir tarde, so I'll take you home. She was like, I'm going to make a deposit and I'm going to take you to his house so you can hang out with him. So it was like a little sneaky. I was like, I'm MIA.
Coming through.
I'm like, she's pulling through for me because she's pulling strings left and right. My parents are like, llévatela, está bien.
Ellos ni en cuenta.
No, ni en cuenta.
Confiaban en ella.
Yeah, like they were cool with her. So she goes and makes the deposit, I think como a las 8 de la noche, and she goes and drops me off at his friend's house because they were hanging out together. And like we hang out or whatever. And then he like tries to make a move and he wants to like get spicy. And I'm like, no, like I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not that kind of girl. And then he was like, well, would you be my girlfriend? I'm like,
will you do it then?
No, he's like, can I hit then? And then I'm just like, you know what? Like, yeah, I'll be your girlfriend because I did really like him. Like, I was very physically attracted to him. And that was the first time, like, I had spoke to another man besides, like, my first boyfriend. And that was, like, my first love, I would say. So I was like, oh, like, maybe this is something. So we start dating. And the relationship's really good. Like, he always wants to hang out. He always wants to see me. But like I said, my parents... like, just wouldn't. Like, that, yo creo que ahí es cuando me pongo un poquito rebelde. Because I always been a good kid and I always listened to my parents. Like, if my parents told me to do something, that's just what was right. Yeah. And I never questioned it. I would just do it. So when I started dating him, I was like, you know what? We're going to do this right. Like, tienes que ir a la casa y le tienes que decir a mi mamá, soy su novio, because, like, my mom doesn't play around.
Was he older?
No, he's actually 9 months younger than me, but he had told me he was 17 when we had met. So I thought we were the same age.
Yeah.
He's white and Hispanic. Yeah, white and Puerto Rican. So his parents weren't really strict and he's a boy. So he was just doing whatever he wanted to do. So I was like, no, like, you got to talk to my parents. Like, that's not going to fly with my mom. Like, te tiene que conocer. She wants to feel comfortable. So I take him to the house. Se lo presento a mi mamá. She's like, oh, okay, es tu novio. Qué bien. Like, qué bueno para ti. Me gusta, whatever. I would always be like, okay, like, me and my boyfriend are going to go do this. She's like, pues llévate a tu hermana. Oh, me and my boyfriend are going to go to the movies. We'll take your brother. Like, every time I went on a date, it was like a triple date. Like, I couldn't even kiss. Like, I'm like, oh, mi hermana está viendo para allá. Give me a kiss. Like, it was like that. Like, it was never like just me on a date. Yeah, I had security. There would be security there, and there was. So I just kind of got tired of that because I'm like, I'm not a kid. Estoy trabajando. Like, I'm making my own money because at that point, I was kind of paying for all my stuff. So I was paying for my phone. I was shopping for myself. So I kind of felt like, yo ya sé, like, I'm an adult. Like, let me do what I want to do. I just kind of got tired of it, of like them always coming, or like he would be like, hey, like, my parents are having this. Like, could you come? Vamos a hacer una carne asada, or we're going to get together, or whatever it was. And my mom was always like, no puedes ir. And I'm like, you know, he's my boyfriend. Like, you already know, like, we're together. Like, what else
like,
could we be doing?
Pedo, yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, girl, you got 5 kids. You know what we could be doing. So, so then I just kind of got tired of it. So I started sneaking out. So one day, oh my God, dude, Eric, if you're watching, ugh. So one time, me and my little sister, like, we always been best friends too. Like, because I think she was the only girl. So she kind of just attached like herself to me because we were so similar. I would do her makeup. I would do her hair. Like, that's literally my evil twin. We get in arguments all the time, but no me importa. Es mi hermana, like, at the end of the day, you know? So I told my little sister, ni sé cuántos años tenía, pero estaba chiquita. And I was like, I'm going to sneak out. And she was like, you're going to sneak out? I was like, yeah, I'm going to sneak out. Would you help me? And she's like, yeah, like, I'm going to help you. Like, you're my sister.
Like, tell me what to do.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, so what you're going to do is lock yourself in the room and act like you're with me. And I'm going to sneak out because we were having like a little party. We were going to play beer pong. My boyfriend at the time, and then his best friend and his girlfriend. So it was like a little quadruple date or double date. She's like, okay. So she goes in my room and she locks the door. Mind you, we had a dog and we had like a bush outside my window, and I had to jump the fence. Like, I was on a mission and I was on it. Like, I was like, okay.
I'm going to get that D.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Like, I'm coming for that pepino tonight. Don't worry. So I open the window, right? And I hop out, and my sister, I'm like, just make it seem like there's somebody there next to you. She made like a little dummy of like pillows that was me or whatever. So then I get out, right? The dogs are barking. I'm like getting scratched up. I jump the fence. He catches me. We're out. Mind you, como 15 minutos han pasado. My brother rams himself into the room and he goes and tells on me. Yeah, he's like, la Tati no está aquí, no sé qué se hizo. And my mom is blowing up my phone. ¿A dónde estás?
La Tati anda brinque.
I'm playing beer pong. I'm like, like, I'm just having a blast. And my mom's calling me, and then I'm just like, no, like, I'm not going home. So like, me and him, like, just do some stupid shit. We start walking around town, just doing dumb shit. His mom, like, finds us, and he's like, hey, like, you need to take Tati home because, like, her mom is pissed off. Yeah. So we finally go home, and then, like, I remember, like, our moms were talking, and they were like, yeah, like, we don't want Tati to be pregnant. Like, I feel like that was, like, my parents' biggest fear. Like, they're like, we don't want her to be pregnant. We don't want her to be left with a kid or kids having kids. Like, that's just not going to work out. Like I said, that was their biggest fear, right? So they were like, we don't want her to be pregnant. Y yo en mi cabeza como que I have helped, like, my parents, like, criar a mi hermano y mi hermana, because, like, whenever they would be at work y cuando ya estaba grandecita enough, they're like, Tati, tú tienes que cuidar los niños. So I would stay home with, like, my 2 brothers and my sister. Oh, my brother and my sister, because mi hermano, like, he didn't come till well, at that time, my brother had already came, like, because le dieron refugio, so he had got here. Like I said, Eric was always out to get me. So he told on me, they find out, and we finally go home. They're over here talking about, hey, like, we don't want her to be pregnant. In my head, I'm like, dude, I helped you raise 2 kids. I don't want to be pregnant either. Like, and I would tell my mom, like, I'm not going to get pregnant. Like, I'm not going to get pregnant. Right. Right. So then I guess fast forward a year into our relationship, my mom got mad because she found out I was having sex. And, like, como que eso era como que te voy a crucificar. Like, that is not it. Like, and my parents, like, I feel like they're so old-fashioned back in the day that they don't want to talk about sex. It's like prohibido. Like, I'm like, y'all have kids. Like, we know what y'all be doing. Like, why
y'all
we
were
talk
teen
about-
parents too,
No,
probably.
literally. So, yeah, they just wouldn't like tell me anything about protection or whatever. So my mom finds out I'm having sex because I left my phone at home. I was at work, left my phone at home, and she goes through my phone. And I'm like, ay, no, me va a ver el OF. Like,
she's gonna see the videos.
yeah, like, I'm like, bro, like, no, me va a ver todo. And at work, como que, yeah, like, I felt it in the bottom of my stomach. Like, I could just feel something coming, you know? So I get home, and my mom's like, you're having sex. And she's just yelling at me. She's like, you're a whore and all this stuff. Like, you need to get the fuck out. Like, she kicks me out.
Oh, shit.
Like, she got so mad. She was like, you need to get the fuck out. Like, I'm not having that.
Like, I didn't raise no puta.
No, literally, like, estaba bien enojada. Like, she was like, I'm not having that. Like, because and I understand, like, she just didn't want me to get pregnant. But at the same time, girl, like, you could have just told me, like, wear a condom, get on birth control.
Like, you're kicking me out now. I'm really going to get pregnant.
Yeah, like, now I'm running. Yeah. Like, so then she was like, okay, you need to get out. So at that time, I had a best friend. And I was like, hey, like, my mom kicked me out. Like, esto pasó. Like, she found my phone and, like, she's seen all these text messages. And now she knows I'm having sex. So my friend was like, oh, well, like, come stay with me. So I go and stay with my friend for a couple of days. Mind you, like, me and him, I think we were still talking. We were probably, like, on a little break because we would have, like, fights here and there. Like, it wasn't perfect. It was a good relationship at first, but we would have fights in there. So we were taking, like, a little break. So I go and stay at my friend's house, but she's only staying with her brothers. It was just two of her brothers, and it was her because her mom had moved to Colorado or whatever. I think because I don't know. I think she had found a new boyfriend. She moved to Colorado, but my friend wanted to finish school in Texas. So she was like, you can stay with us. So I stay with them, but her brothers are popping pills. Like, I don't oxy, like, all that. They're popping pills. Y yo nunca, like, estado in an environment like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was
scared.
Yeah, I was a little scared. Like, I was a little freaked out because I never seen people act like that or, like, people be on drugs, you know? So I tell him, like, I tell my boyfriend, whatever, at the time, because we were in a little fight. I was like, I'm a little uncomfortable. Like, they're doing this. And mind you, like, my boyfriend would also do pills. Like, he was on Xanax. So he kind of knew the scene, I guess. So then he meets the brothers and he's like, yeah, no, like, you're not going to stay with your friend. Like, you're going to come to my house and you're going to stay with me. And I'm like, okay.
Period.
I'm like,
You're like, just what I wanted.
Yeah, literally. So I grab all my stuff and I move in with him. Mind you, his mom is white. Like, no le importa. Like, she's like, oh, yeah, you can sleep in his room. Oh, yeah, y'all can lock the door. Oh, yeah, like, haga lo que ustedes quieran. So, baby, we were having a time every night. Like, 5 times a day. Like, we were just bunnies. Like, we were going crazy. Because I just loved him so much at the time, you know? I would say, like, 6 months. Yeah, 5 to 6 months of me living with him. And mind you, he's not working. I'm like the only one working at that time. And I'm going to school. And it was difficult kind of like living with them because nunca tenía alguien como un schedule que me podía ir a dejar a la escuela. So I was missing school a lot.
Shit.
I was skipping classes and I wasn't going to school because they could not get their schedule right. I didn't have a car. I had a job. So I was missing school a lot. So I remember my school had called my mom and they were like, hey, like, if Tati doesn't get her grades up, because we're already in senior year at this point. They were like, if Tati doesn't get her grades up, like, she's not going to graduate. And my mom was like, what? Like, you go from being an A-B student, like in honors classes, and now you're not going to graduate? So my mom was kind of mad, and she was kind of on my ass about that. And his mom was also mad at me for not going to school, but she would also not take me to school. So it's like, te chingo por acá o te chingo por allá. Like, I was just fucked either way. One day, my boyfriend picks me up from work. And he smokes cigarettes, right? And I never like the smell of cigarettes. Like, it always gives me a headache and it makes me feel gross. But since I had been with him for like a couple years now, like, ya me había acostumbrado, so it never bothered me. So I remember I got in the car and he's smoking a cigarette. I'm like, put it away. Like, I just feel icky. Like, I feel like I'm about to throw up. He's like, you're pregnant. Ha, 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 ha. I'm like, no, I'm not. So I get home and like, I try to throw up and I'm just feeling gross. But nothing, like, I was fine. So then Fast forward a couple weeks, his mom was mad at me for not going to school, but she wouldn't take me to school. So she was like, no, she needs to get out. Like, I don't want her staying at my house.
Ya es mucho problema.
Yeah, es mucho problema para mí. Like, she's been here too long. She has overstayed her welcome. She needs to get out. So I'm like, okay, like, I need to get out, whatever. Mind you, at that time, I feel like I always had a little best friend. Like, I always had a girl I could always confide on. And I feel like that's why I'm a girl's girl, because I always had somebody to lean on. So his cousin had a girlfriend at the time, and me and her were like best friends. So she's like, I remember I had like a couple days to move out of his house. Like his mom was like decided like te tienes que ir, right? And I was late on my period one day. But as women, I feel like that changes. Like sometimes te viene al primero del mes o al último del mes. You never know. Sometimes they'll change a couple days. So I wasn't worried. But she had picked me up and we're just chilling, talking about everything. Like, oh, I can't believe she's kicking me out. Like, no puedo creer que me tengo que ir de regreso con mis papás. Mind you, I haven't told my mom that I've been kicked out or anything. Like,
so you don't even know if you have a house.
Yeah, like I was just like, I'm returning.
I'm just going to show the fuck up.
I was like, I'm the owner of this house.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so I haven't told my mom anything because I was scared she was going to tell me no. Yeah. You know? Because she was already mad about me missing school. She picks me up and she's like, let's go get a pregnancy test. I said, girl, for what? Like, what are we going to get a pregnancy test for? I'm not pregnant. It's only been one day. Yeah. She's like, but you're going to go back to your parents' house, so why not? Like, let's just get you a pregnancy test. She picks me up in her car because she drives. We go to CVS. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to get a pregnancy test, I guess, because I'm going to go back to my parents' house. So might as well know if I am pregnant. But I know I'm not pregnant.
A ver si voy a llegar sola o con un bebé.
Right. And I was like, and I know I'm not pregnant. Like, I just knew in my head I wasn't pregnant. So we go get the pregnancy test. And she's like, just take it here in the bathroom. I'm like, are you sure? So we go in the CVS bathroom, open up that pregnancy test. I go in there, and then I pee on that stick. And immediately, it says I'm pregnant. I swear my butthole and my mouth was one. Like, I was just like, ¿qué? Estoy embarazada. Like, there's something living in me right now. And I just bust out crying because that's my mom's biggest fear. And it's not a fear.
Corriendo, güey.
Yeah, and it's not a fear. It's like reality now. You know, like, it's not a fear anymore, Mom. I'm pregnant. I found out I'm pregnant. I feel like my whole world is over. Like, my whole world is coming down. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do? How am I going to tell my parents? Whatever. Right after that, I was like, okay, we got to tell my baby daddy. So we drive up to his house, and I still had to pick up some of my stuff because I was going to stay with her one more night. And then I was just going to show up to my parents like, hey, I'm here. Hello. Like, take me back in. So we go back, and I tell him, and he's like, what is this? Like, I don't know what this is. And I was like, what do you mean you don't know what it is? I was like, it's a pregnancy test. Like, I'm pregnant. And then I just start crying again. And he's like, oh, it's okay. Like, we're going to get through this together. Like, don't worry. And it makes me feel more at ease because I'm like, okay, I have some support. Like, even if my parents don't support me, they will. But his mom just hated me at that time. So I was just kind of scared too.
Did you guys tell her right away or no? ¿A tu suegra?
He told his parents before I told mine. So I think he waited like a couple weeks. Y ya les dijo. And she was just like, no es tu hijo. Girl, what? You knew we were in Pound Town right next to you. Right next to you. And you didn't care. And all of a sudden, he's not your kid? Like, that's not your kid or whatever? So, bitch, I just show up to my parents' house. Like, I just show up to my parents' house and I'm like, hey, I'm here. And Mom was like, you're going to stay here? And I was like, yeah, like, I need to go to school. I need to better my situation. And I really want to graduate. Yeah. Like, I don't want to disappoint you. And that way I already disappoint you in many ways. But I'm not telling her I'm pregnant because my mom is so scary. Like, I'm about to be 30. I'm 28 and I'm still like, scared to tell her anything like bad, you know? I go and I stay with my parents for I think it was like 3 months. No, probably like 6 months.
Damn, so almost the whole pregnancy.
Yeah, 6 months before I told, and I didn't tell him. Like, I didn't really tell them.
And
I
you
was
went crazy showing?
No, I didn't start showing till I was like 7 months. Like, literally one day I woke up and I had a panza, like, and I just had a baby in there. So I moved back in with my parents. I started going back to school and I started getting to it. Like, because my teachers would always be like, Tati, if you would just show up, like, you're smart, you listen. If you would just show up, you could get this done. Yeah. So I talked to all my teachers. I'm like, hey, like, I really want to graduate. What can I do? What credits can I take? They're like, okay, well, you're going to have to do this and that. Y pues yo me pongo las pilas y ahí vamos. So I started getting everything ready for my graduation. And everything is looking like I'm going to graduate. So I'm super excited, right? But right before I graduate, I would probably say it was like 2 weeks before I graduated, My mom goes to the store with my dad. They're like, oh, we're going to go take a little walk. We're going to go to the dollar store. I'm like, okay. Mind you, I already had symptoms. Like, I remember, and like, it was weird. Like, I remember one time I was like unwrapping my strainer. And you know how like the strainer has like the little wrapping things and it'll make noise? And my mom was like, are you opening a tampon? Like, do you have your period? I was like, oh, no, this is just my strainer. She's like, oh, okay. It's like she
was on you because she was like, oh, I don't see blood anywhere. Like, she hasn't
and
had
you
a
haven't asked me
period.
for tampons, and I haven't seen you like buy anything. So I'm like, okay. And then that day they were like, yeah, like we're gonna walk to the store or whatever. And I'm like, why are y'all walking? Like y'all have a car. Like everything just like something in my heart just told me like she's on to me. Like me va a decir algo. So they leave and I go in the bathroom and I just start bawling because I'm like, ¿cómo le voy a decir? And like, ¿qué cara le voy a poner? Y like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Mind you, at this time, like, obviously my baby daddy already knew, but he said he was going to be there for me and he said he was going to care, but he was just out partying. He was out partying. He was out talking to girls. So I was just like, I was pregnant and I was already going through all that. And I was just so mentally drained already because I'm pregnant with a kid. I can't do anything and I have to work and you're just not caring. You're with this girl and that girl.
Like he would be physically cheating on you?
Yeah. He would be physically cheating at parties and like siempre me lo negaba. Él siempre como que no, I'm not doing that. But I'm just FBI as fuck. So I would log into all his accounts, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, que era back then Kick. Yeah,
yes,
baby. I would get on them and it would be like girls like, oh, like we had a time last night. Or hey, like, am I going to
Like
see
round
you
two?
Yes. Or it'll be bitches like posting like they're pregnant and they're like, they would have like my son's name like Aiden because I had already like said it, to him. Or like to my social media, my parents just didn't know. It was just a lot. Like I was just like, because I didn't have him, like we just weren't together at that time because I was just fed up with that. So I was like, I don't gotta be with you. Like, fuck that. So then when my mom went to the store and she had came back, I had already got out the shower, pero yo me fui pa mi cuarto. I was like, I'm closing the door and I'm locking it. And she comes in and she's like, Tati? I'm like, yeah. She's like, ven para acá. I'm like, okay. So I go out there and she looks at me and she hands me a pregnancy test. She said, take this or tell me if you're pregnant. Porque yo sé que algo está pasando, pero no sé qué. Y necesito confirmación y ahorita. And I'm just like, I look at her. In mi cabeza, I'm like, should I go to the toilet and dip it in water? Or should I just tell her? Because I'm 6 months pregnant and I really don't have no support. And they don't know I'm going through all this. Because
like you can't hide it anymore.
Yeah. And I just, like, I feel like just in general, I'm a person that just keeps everything to herself. Like, I'd rather deal with everything by myself. And I didn't know if I wanted to be with my baby daddy, later on. So I didn't want my parents to, like, think of him in a certain way or see him in a certain light. So I just wouldn't tell them, like, my baby daddy's not there. I'm not with him. Like,
he ain't shit.
He's with another bitch. Like, I wouldn't tell them. So I was just like, I'm pregnant. Like, Mom, I'm pregnant. And she's like, you're pregnant? She's like, I knew it. I knew you were pregnant. Ya lo sabía. Yo ya tengo meses sabiendo que tú estás embarazada. Nada más estaba esperando que tú me dijeras que estabas embarazada, pero tú no me ibas a decir. So she just kind of got it out of me. And I was like, yeah, I'm pregnant. She's like, you're a whore. Like, I didn't want this for you. This is not what I wanted to you. ¿Qué vas a hacer? She's like, ¿qué vas a hacer? Porque estás embarazada and you only have one option. And that's to be a mom. Yeah. And I was like, well, honestly, there was no doubt in my mind, though. Like, even though I was like, I don't want to get pregnant so young or whatever. But there was no doubt in my mind. I wanted to keep my baby for sure. Because that was
abortion was not an option.
Yeah, she obviously didn't give me that option, but that wasn't an option in my mind either. Like, I was just like, I can do it. Like, if my mom could do it with her 5 kids, yo puedo con uno, right?
A ver cómo le hago.
Mm-hmm. So I told them, right? And she's just crying. And she's like, no, like, I'm so disappointed. Like, you have disappointed me. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, Mom. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I know this is not what you wanted. And this is exactly what I did. Like, I'm sorry. And she's like, pues le vas a decir a tu papá. ¿Qué? Like, I just told you. Now you want me to tell him? So she calls my dad over. And she's like, está embarazada. And my dad has always been so nonchalant. I love this about him because they're like fire and ice. Like, she's definitely the fire. And he's like, oh, okay. Cool. Like, cool. Like, what is she going to do? Is he going to be there for her? And I was like, yeah, like, he's going to be there because I didn't know how to tell my mom, like...
Like, it was too much.
Yeah, it was too much at once to say, right? So she was like, yeah, like I was like, yeah, he's gonna be there. Like we talked about it. He said he's gonna be there and help me with him or whatever. She was like, pues llama a tus hermanos que le vas a decir. And I'm like, oh my God.
She's like, dile a todo el mundo.
No, dile a todo el mundo, yeah, that you're a
Te
whore.
vas a salir a la yarda y le vas a decir a todos los neighbors.
Literally, that's how I felt.
Para que sepan que aquí vive una puta.
No, literally. Like, it was bad. I call my brothers and sister, and I'm like, hey, vengan para acá. Like, we got to tell you something. And they're like, my mom's like, Tati está embarazada. And they're like, yay, we're going to be tios. They're so excited about it. Yeah, they were hyped about it. I was like, well, at least somebody feels happy for it. So once my mom finds out, like, como que sí tiene resentimiento at first.
Yeah.
Like, she's mad that I didn't tell her. And she's just like, why would you do that? Like, that's just so sad. Like, you threw your whole future away. You were going to go to college. You were about to graduate. You got everything together. So, but she was there for me. Like, she was the only one there for me. Like, if I had a craving, me lo hacía.
Yes, yeah. Did you feel that way though? Like, obviamente, you know, getting pregnant so young, I feel like a lot of girls tend to think like, pues aquí se acabó mi vida. Like, this is all there is to me. This is gonna be the rest of my life. Did you feel that way in that moment?
Yeah, I definitely felt like my life was over. I was like, I'm not gonna amount to anything. I'm just gonna be a mom. And honestly, yo no sé cómo voy a hacer esto. Like, at this time, I hadn't talked to my baby daddy, I would say for, I don't know, it had been a couple months. Like, we only talked like 2 months of my pregnancy. And after that, it was like, no contact. Like, he was just out partying, living his life, and I'm at home crying and sad. Like, mentally, I was going through so much because I was like, how can somebody that loved me so much at that time just leave me with our kid?
Like, not even checking in.
No, not even checking in. He wasn't even like going to no doctor's appointment, like nothing. Like, nothing at all. He just went cold on me after we found out the gender. So like 20 weeks, he just went cold on me. He was just out partying, popping sands, like just doing whatever he wanted to do. And my parents didn't know about it.
This episode of Noche de Pendejadas is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah. Every time I use Booking.com to find a place to stay in the US, I know they'll have exactly what I'm looking for. They have a huge variety of options from hotels to vacation rentals, and I know I can find exactly what I'm looking for. I found Booking.com to have something for everyone. I love Booking.com because it makes booking our hotels so much easier. En abril, amigas, vamos a ir a Las Vegas. We're going to WrestleMania, and Booking.com helped us get the perfect hotel on the strip, perfect size, and not too far from the stadium where we're going to go to, para que todo esté conveniently around us. No matter who you are, Booking.com helps you find the stay that's ridiculously right for you. Find exactly what you're booking for on Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
Representation in media matters. One of the most essential daily podcasts comes from NPR. It's Up First, co-hosted by A. Martinez alongside others. NPR's Up First provides the top 3 news stories to start your day. With digestible 10 to 15-minute episodes, it's all the news you need so you can get back to your life feeling informed while preserving your sanity. From the Trump administration to business and the economy to immigration policies, Up First is the go-to daily habit for the news consumer who wants to stay informed but is forever strapped for time. Up First short format makes it easy to catch up on what's happening while you're getting ready, making breakfast, or going to work. Up First achieves the rare 1-2 punches of being short and thorough, national and international, fact-based and personable. With Up First, you can start your day a little more in the know than when you went to sleep. Listen now to the Up First podcast from NPR.
Fast forward into like me going into labor, it was I feel like it was crazy because his sister had picked me up and yo me levanto un día and I'm just like, algo, like something's up.
Yeah.
Like, I think I was like 38 weeks. Yeah. When I went to labor, I was still working. Like, I never stopped working. That was one thing of me. Like, I was like, I need to have this amount of money saved. I already had everything for my kid and I had bought every single little thing. And besides whatever I got from the baby shower, you know, but I had bought everything for my baby already. And I remember my job at the time, like they didn't have a lot of people. So I was like, I'm going to put my 2 weeks in. And I just never would because I was just like, hey, like work was just kind of my escape from like my baby daddy and not having nobody because I had so many hours that I could just be thinking that I was working. So I was just at work. So that day I was scheduled to go to work, but I woke up and I was just like, something's off. Like my belly, something's off. Like I'm not contracting, but something's weird. So I'm just out and about with my mom. We go out to eat. Luego regreso a la casa. Mind you, I was still talking at that point. His mom had already apologized to me. Like she was like, hey, I'm sorry for everything. Like I know that's his kid. Like if he's not going to be there for you, I guess because he was fucking up so bad, they were like, if he's not going to be there for you, we're going to try to be there for you. So I would always talk to his mom and his sister. So that day, his sister was like, oh, you want me to come pick you up? Because she was like, do you feel like you're having contractions? Because that little weird feeling just turned into like, I was like, okay, my stomach
like
feels
pressure.
like it's getting tight and then not tight and then tight again. Like something's off. So she was like, do you want me to pick you up so we can go to the hospital and see like if something's up? Because I think I had one more doctor's appointment before I actually would go into labor. So she picks me up and we go to the doctor and they're checking me. And there's like multiple people checking me and they're like, oh, you're only dilated a centimeter. Like there's no way you're going to be having this kid. Maybe another week, a week or two. Like people stay dilated at a centimeter. Like it could be a couple weeks.
Yeah.
You know, like you're probably not going to have this baby. So she's like, let's go to the mall. Let's go walk around. So once we leave the hospital, my baby daddy calls and he's like, hey, can you pick me up from work? Yeah, because he was working at like some
calls
smoke
his
shop.
sister, not
calls
you.
his sister.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
not
okay,
me.
okay.
Calls his sister. He's like, can you pick me up from work? And then she's like, yeah. And then I'm just like, what? Like my stomach was in shambles. Like I'm already contracting and then I'm going to see this man I haven't seen in months. And he's been cheating on me actively and doing like playing in my face, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, what the heck? So she goes and she picks him up. We pick him up. He was working at some kind of smoke shop. We pick him up and he gets in the back seat. And then I told her, I was like, I'm hungry. Like, do you want to get Whataburger? I was like, I'll get you some food. Like, don't worry or whatever. And we got our food. And mind you, the car ride is kind of quiet. Like, he's not saying nothing because he knows, like, you played with me enough. He's like, hey, can I have a fry? I was like, no. So we go back to her house and I'm just chilling in the bed and like my contractions are getting worse and worse. And I'm like, I feel like I'm going to have this kid. Like, I feel like he's coming. Yeah. Like, I feel like he's coming soon. We go to her house. We're chilling for a little bit. And then he's over there he's like, hey, like, I'm trying to be here for you. Like, sobándome la espalda. All of a sudden, I was like, but don't you? And I literally looked at him and I was like, don't you have a girlfriend? And he's like, I do, but like, I'm going to be here for you. Like, this is my kid. I'm like, oh, ahora sí quiere estar ahí. Ahora sí es el papá que quiere ser.
Y durante todo ese tiempo que no estaban como hablando, ¿no te ayudaba, like, even monetary wise? Like, no te daba, hey, sé que tienes que comprarle esto al niño. ¿Nada?
No, like, he was just out partying, popping sands, doing coke, because he's always been, like, into the party life. And like I said, I always was scared of that. Like, mi mamá siempre me metió miedo con eso, so I, like, would never want to do drugs or, like, touch that kind of stuff. So, no, he wouldn't help me with money or anything because he never had a job. This was, like, this little smoke shop he was working at was, like, his first job in, like, forever. I feel like his first job, period.
So, like, first and only.
No, literally, ya se acabó la carrera. So, at his house, it gets worse. Then they're like, okay, like, we're going to take you home. Like, I feel like you're not going to have him, right? So I go home. And I'm over here doing lunges and doing this and doing that. And I'm like, he has to come. Like, I'm tired of being pregnant. Like, I suffered enough. So I'm like doing lunges, doing this. And my mom's like, ¿Quieres pupusas? I'm like, yeah. So my mom makes me pupusas and I'm walking around the house. And then, boom, I'm like, oh, like, it's hurting. I'm like, Mom, me duele. Like, me duele mucho. And, like, it got to the point where I couldn't breathe through my contractions. Like, it was hurting that bad. So my mom was like, you should call my mom doesn't really drive in the highway. Like, she gets really scared. She has, like, driving anxiety. So she was like, call his sister y dile que te lleve al doctor. Because my hospital was in Fort Worth, so it's like about 30 minutes.
Oh shit! So it was a drive,
yeah. And my mom's like, I'm not gonna be able to do that, like that.
She's like, lucky,
Yeah, and my dad had to work like the next day, so she was like, your dad has to go to work. I call his sister. I'm like, hey, and it's been like maybe an hour at that, like since they dropped me off. And I call his sister. I'm like, hey, like I'm having bad contractions, like I can barely breathe through them. Come pick me up. She comes and picks me up with him. Mind you, he's fucked up. Like, I could tell he's on something. He's fucked up. And then he's like, hey, like, can we stop by the gas station? I want a cigarette. Like I need cigarettes. I'm about to
have your kid.
And I'm like, dying. And I'm just like, the fucking audacity. And I'm in so much pain. Like, we stopped by the gas station, by the way. Like, we did stop. And he got his cigarettes. So Then we go to the hospital and I'm just like, oh, I can't fucking stand him because like you hurt me so much and you just show up at all of a sudden and think everything's going to be butterflies and rainbows. Like, no. So we get to the hospital and they check me again. They're like, you're only 3 centimeters. Like, if you don't dilate more, you're going to go home. I'm like, oh, no. They're like, we're giving you an hour to walk around the hospital and then you need to, like, we'll see if you dilate more. If you do, then you're going to stay. So I'm like walking around with him and we're just talking a little bit, like chit chat, kind of catching up a little bit, you know, like I didn't want to, but I kind of just was in that position. I'm like, and this is literally the dad to my kid. An hour goes by, they check me again. They're like, okay, you're out of 4. Like the baby's coming. Like he's coming either tonight or tomorrow. So they put us in a room. It's me, him, and his sister. The whole time, him and his sister are fighting over the couch. Who's going to sleep in the couch? She's like, I'm tired. I'm like, bro, just come lay with me. Like, so he comes and he lays in the bed with me. And I'm just like, whatever, you know? So se queda ahí. And then I think at like 8 in the morning, I feel like a water balloon pop. And I'm like, ¿qué pasó? My water broke.
Like, me mía.
No, literally, it felt like I peed. And I'm like, oh my God, like the epidural isn't working. Like I feel everything. I was like, I feel everything. Like tell them to like come check my epidural. And they're like, okay, before we check your epidural, we're gonna have to check you because I think that was your water. So they check me and they're like, no, you're at a 10. Like you need to push.
Shit.
I'm like, what? And mind you, my mom isn't there. So I just felt like kind of lonely because I'm like with these, like his sister, I'm like, we were cool at the time. But I'm like, I'm with this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I don't care for him to be here. Like I want my mom. So next thing you know, like 20 people walk in and my legs are up and they're like, push, push, push. And I'm in so much pain. I'm like 45 minutes into pushing and I'm like, I'm done. Like, I'm not going to push anymore. Like, I'm done. They're like, the head is right there. Like, we can see the head. I'm like, y'all been saying that. Like, I give up. So they get me to push. I finally give birth to my son, Aiden. And I feel like that was just like the best moment of my life.
Like, you felt like, ugh.
Like release, like it was so much pain in that moment, but as soon as I saw his little face, it was all gone. Like I didn't feel anything. Like I just felt love, you know, like I just started crying and just to put a face to that little human in my stomach, it was just like, it felt so good. Like I'm a mom.
Yeah.
Really now. Like it was crazy.
No lo podías creer. Tell us a little bit more about, you know, el momento que te conviertes mamá. You know, obviously you were becoming a first-time mom super young. What do you feel like was the hardest thing for you to adjust when it came to becoming a mom? You know, te vas a tu casa, you know, now you have to like be up late, you know, changing diapers. What do you think was like the hardest thing to adjust to?
Honestly, I feel like just not having like some time for myself or like me going through stuff. Like I couldn't just be like, oh, I give up. Like I'm not going to get up this day. I'm not going to wake up and I'm not going to do this. I had to wake up. I had to change diapers and he was living at his mom's and I was living at my mom's. So I was really a single mom, you know? So I was just doing everything on my own. And sometimes I would go over to his house, mind you, like I was a pendeja. Like that's the best way I could put it. Like I was really just a pendeja. After we had Aiden, like I just felt reconnected to him. Like I just felt like, oh, like I love this man.
Yeah.
Like I really do. And we can make something work because me growing up, like even though I did have my stepdad, like I didn't have my dad.
Yeah.
So I didn't want my kid to go through that because I remember when I was younger, like I would struggle with that. There was like a whole summer where I cried my eyes out because I just wanted to have a dad, you know, because he was never present. So I was like, I need to make this work. So we would take turns. Like I would go to his mom's, he would come back. So he would kind of help me here and there, but I was still the only one working. I was still the only one doing everything.
And was he still dating like the other girlfriend or
no?
Like
he broke up with her. Like I would say like a week until after like I had Aiden because he was with me at the hospital the whole time. Like he showed up at that time.
Okay.
Like when I needed him while I was giving birth, he was there. So after that, he broke up with her and then we got back together because I just felt I was like I'm in love. Like this is my little family and. Since I didn't have that, I just wanted it so bad.
You craved it.
It was hard, I would say, because I would always be the person trying to like get money or hustle or work. And he was still trying to be a teenager. He was still trying to go out, trying to go party. He would always get in trouble, get thrown in jail because he was doing Xanax and stealing something. And then now you're going to jail and now I'm trying to help you. Like I would have to bond him out. And like I would not tell my parents none of this stuff because my parents would be like, no. Like,
quítate de ahí.
Yeah. And my parents, I feel like after a while, like, obviously they could kind of sense stuff for me. So they kind of just didn't like him. Like, I feel like after I gave birth, like, it just came to a point where they were like, we don't really like him.
Yeah.
So, like, they would always be like, don't be with him, whatever. But yo ahí de pendeja and wanting my little family, like, I was just there. Yeah. Like, I just wanted that.
You know, te quedaste con él for a good amount of time. Y hace 3 años, you make the decision to, like, completely walk away. You know, you're like, I'm done. Ya no quiero esto. Even if I really want to make it work for my son, it's not going to work out aunque quiera. Cuéntanos un poquito de ese momento where you were like, you know what, hasta aquí. What do you feel like drove you to the breaking point of wanting to really finally walk away from that relationship?
I feel like it was the never-ending cycle. Like, we would always break up, get back together. He would cheat on me again, and I would let him do it, and then I would get back with him. So he went to prison for 2 years because of the drugs. He ended up threatening a cop, so he went to prison for 2 years, and I was the only one there. And he was literally the love of my life at that point. So we weren't together when he went in there, but I was the only one there answering his calls, being there for him, that we got back together again. Like, Tati, ¿cuándo vas a aprender? Like, deja de ser pendeja. But I really just wanted that, you know? So I was there throughout the whole time. And then when he got out of prison, his family was very inconsiderate, I feel like, because they wanted him to, like, because he had probation. So they told him, like, hey, like, they did their probation to their house. And mind you, they lived like an hour away, like an hour and a half away. So as soon as he got out, they were like, vente para acá, vente para acá. Mind you, he hasn't seen his kid also in that, like, almost 2 years. So what do you mean, like, que ya se vaya, que ya se vaya? So we end up going to his mom's house. We all get into it because, like, they were kind of racist. Like, his family was kind of racist. So siempre dejaba like, my child to the side. Like, because he had other nieces. Yeah. And they would always, like, get lots of presents or do all these big things for them. But they would always kind of put him to the side. And I just kind of, like, when he got out of prison, I was just kind of, like, I took the time of him being in there. I started working out. Because I had no self-confidence before him going in there, because he was physically and mentally abusive, and he would always be like, you're fat.
Do you feel like that's why you would stay too? Because he would make you feel like shit about yourself?
Oh, yeah. He would make me feel horrible. Like, I hated my body. I hated me. Like, I didn't want to be here at all. Like, if it wasn't for my son, I wouldn't be here for sure. There's many times where I just didn't want to be here. Like, I just wanted to take my life because it was that bad. And he would, like, threaten my family, like, my parents, like, I'm going to do this to your parents. And he had connections with people. Like, he had access to guns and access to this, and, like, he would hit me. So, like, and there was times where I would hit him back, and I don't condone that, but I just felt like I needed to defend myself, you know? And, like, prior to him going to prison, like, Aiden was 3, so Aiden would, like, kind of deal with that. Like, he would kind of hear that stuff. Lo miraba, yeah, like, even now, like, Aiden doesn't really like fights or, like, crazy screaming, because I feel like it reminds him of that.
Yeah, he's traumatized with it, yeah.
After he went to prison, like, and after going through all that, like, I just felt like I just needed to do better, you know? Like, I needed to get myself up, because he would always just body shame me and, like, be like, you're a mom, like, nobody's gonna want you, you're never gonna amount to anything. And I feel like that's why I stayed for so long, because I believed it.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, you're right.
You're like, I'm better off with him. Yeah. Aunque me trata así.
Yeah, like, even though he treats me shitty, like, at least he wants me, you know, because nobody's gonna want me. And I feel like it got really bad for a while too, because before he went to prison, he had worked out of town, and I had moved with him, and we were doing the family thing, but I couldn't, like, he would be like, here's $100, like, make it work for 2 weeks, because I'm not gonna have any more money for you. Mind you, he was working in the oil field. He was making really good money.
Good money. Se lo estaba gastando en otras pendejadas.
Yeah, he was doing drugs. Like, he always did drugs. Like, he always did something, like pills or weed or something. Like, but it was always, like, excesivo, you know?
Nos platicas de que sale de la cárcel, and that was kind of like your breaking point to finally leave him. ¿Qué pasó?
I feel like he left me, like, being real. And honestamente fue la mejor cosa que me podía pasar, because I feel like I was so in that, like, cycle that I didn't want to break because that's all I knew. That's all I knew. So I didn't want to leave him. So he came home. We had that altercation with his family because they would always put my kid to the side. And at that point, like, I had gained some confidence.
Yeah.
I had lost 60 pounds because I was, I think, 260 pounds. I weighed myself and I was like, yeah, no, like, this is not
Like,
going
I
to
gotta stop. Yeah.
So when he went to prison, I started working out. I lost 60 pounds and I gained huevos, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, I'm that bitch. Like, nobody's going to fuck with me. And I always been like that. Like, I always been outspoken and like vale verguista, like me vale verga. Like, if you think that of me, pues a mí me vale, because I'm still going to be me at the end of the day. So I went off on his mom and we all kind of had an altercation because I was like, no, y'all don't treat him the same. And I'm not okay with that. And I'm not putting up with that because he just got out of prison and y'all want him to come over here. My kid hasn't seen him. Yeah. And that's his kid. Y'all haven't done anything while he's been in prison. I've been the only one there. Yeah. So his mom was just like, you can't stay here. So I had to talk to my parents and I was like, hey, can he stay with us? Because I was staying at my parents at that time. And my parents were like, yeah. Like, my parents have always been, like, there for me. As much as they've been, like, I feel like super strict and, like supportive. They've always been like, it's not what we want to do, but if that's what's going to help you out. If that's what's going to help you out, if that's what's going to help Aiden. I feel like they always kept my little gremlin in their mind. Like, they're always like, if Aiden's going to be happy, if the gremlin's going to be happy, we're going to do it. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, like, we're going to make this work. Like, he wants to come live here. So he was staying with me, and it was like a fairy tale. It was like a whole new man. Like, he literally kissed the floor I walked on. Like, it felt like he was a different man. Like, all the promises que me había hecho in prison, like, they were true. Like, and I was kind of scared because a lot of people were like, don't do that because that's just prison talk. Like, they're in there. They don't have nobody to talk to. They have nowhere to go. So it's just prison talk. I remember everything was fine. And one day, and I had bought him a phone. Like, when he got out, I had got him a phone under my plan. And I had set up the Apple ID. I had set up everything. So I remember one day, I was literally trying to use the calculator on his phone. And I was like, hey, like, the password's changed. Like, that's not the password. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I changed it. And I was like, well, give it to me. He's like, no. I was like, you're not going to give me the password? He's like, no, I'm not going to give you the password. I'm like, okay. ¿Qué está haciendo? Yeah, I was like, what the hell? Like, that's weird. I feel like after that, like, he started going out with his friends a lot. Like, he was like, hey, like, we're going to have this little kickback. Like, can I go? And even though, like, he cheated on me, I was always so trustworthy. Like, yo siempre que, oh, yeah, like, go. Because I'm not a controlling person. Yeah. And I guess since mi conciencia was clear, like, I wasn't doing anything, I was always trusting. Like, I was like, yeah, you could go.
Like, he's changed.
Yeah. And I felt like that.
Yeah, you believed it, yeah.
Maybe I would say, like, a month after that, he was like, hey, like, I really want to move out, but, like, I don't want you to come with me. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I thought, like, we wanted
Not
to,
even
like,
your baby?
No. Like, he's like, I want to move out, and I really, I just want to move out. I want to do better for myself, and I feel like we can't do it together. Like, we just haven't been able to all these years. And then I was like, really? Like, you're just going to move on? He's like, well, I need a break, like, from us or whatever. And I was like, are you, like, what? Like, it was just
like dead ass. Like, yeah, are you like, what?
Me? Yeah. Like, you got out of prison, you were asking me for another kid. Like, you wanted to have a daughter. Like, I'm like, what's going on? You know? But I was like, you know what? Okay. Like, if that's what you want, because I was like, maybe I'm being overbearing. Like, I would always question myself because he would always make me feel that way. And I don't know. Like, I feel like a narcissist is something you need to be careful with. Yeah. Because narcissists would twist, turn, and no matter cómo tengas la cabeza bien puesta o los huevos bien puesto, they can twist and turn everything. Mm-hmm. So, like, even though I had gained confidence in everything, he just knew how to manipulate me. Yeah. He just knew what buttons he could press, what he could say, and I would be contenta, you know? So I was like, yeah, like, that's fine. Like, if you want to move out, you want a little break, and you just want to be better, because he was like, I want to better myself, that way we can get our own place. That's what he said, right? Mind you, I was still seeing him. Like, we were still having intimate relationships. Like, he was still asking me for a daughter. And one week, one of my best friends is like, hey, like, don't have sex with your baby daddy. I'm like, why? And she was like, because her baby daddy and my baby daddy had became best friends. And she was like, they're doing nasty shit. Like, I know they're messing with girls that are nasty. Like, you don't want to catch nothing, right? And I remember that year it had got snowed in Texas, which is crazy. But Texas is bipolar, just like me. It had snowed in, so we couldn't go anywhere. So I had texted him, and he had his own apartment at that time. I had texted him. I was like, hey, I'm not going to be doing that with you no more. Like, we're not going to be having sex no more. And he was like, okay. He was like, I got a girlfriend anyways. I said, what? He's like, yeah, I got a girlfriend. He's like, I don't be messing with a lot of girls. I have a girlfriend. Mind you, it had only been 7 days since we last slept together, and he's asking me for a dog. Like, we're trying to...
Like, I thought we were rebuilding our fucking relationship.
Yeah, he's like, well, I don't care. I have a girlfriend. And then next thing you know, he sends me a picture. He's like, I'm in her bed right now. And this was only in a span of a month. So he had been talking to this girl while he was staying at my parents' house.
Por eso cambió los passwords.
Mm-hmm. And then, a month later? Oh, they're having a baby. She's pregnant. It's been going on for a while. Yeah.
What the fuck?
She's pregnant, yeah. Then I find out, she's pregnant. And before this, okay, that happened. And I was like, okay, you want a girlfriend? You know what? Whatever. Like, Tati, si eso va a ser lo que va a ser, you can't keep doing this to yourself. You're tearing yourself down. Like, I was trying to pep talk myself, it's going to be okay. Like, you're going to have to be a single mom, but va a estar bien. Like, y'all can co-parent or something, But I still was very much in love with him. But, the next week, I go to an arcade with my best friend, which she's still my best friend now. She used to date his brother. Me and her met each other through that, and we're still best friends.
The one that comes out in your videos?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah. So that's how we met, and we were at the arcade with my brother because we were trying the whole co-parenting thing a week later, and my son was with him. I had a free weekend or whatever, so me, my brother, and her were at the arcade. We were just playing around. I call my son. I call the gremlin. The gremlin answers. He's like, hi, Mom. I'm like, hey. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm here with... He's looking at me like this. He's like, with my dad and his girlfriend and her kid. A week after you told me, you're just playing house in my face with my kid?
What the fuck?
Yes.
The way that shit, quickly...
It moves so quick.
So, he was literally having, a double life.
Yeah, he was living a double life probably immediately after he got out of prison. Sometimes I feel I'm did y'all talk while he was in prison?
Yeah.
Because it was just so sudden, and out of nowhere. So I was like, oh, no. I was pissed. I was mad. I was like, no, I'm picking my son up because we can't have our family, but you're playing family with somebody else and my kid. And the gremlin's just I know I'm doing something I'm not supposed to, but I'm telling my mom. I'm with my brother and my friend. And she was like, I'm going to drive you. She's driving her car. And his apartment was only 10 minutes where we were from. It gets crazier. I pull up and he comes outside. And he's like, you're not getting the gremlin. You're not getting him. And I was like, what do you mean I'm not getting him? Give me my kid or I'm going to beat that bitch's ass.
Yeah.
I'm going to go up there and beat her ass. Because, you have no...
Yeah.
So he pulls out a gun on me. Yeah. And he's like, you're not getting him. You're not getting him. And he points it out. And I don't know why. I always been scared of that stuff.
Yeah.
Pero no sé qué. I was just not scared. I was like, give me my fucking kid right now. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. So he's just waving that gun at me. And then the gremlin is upstairs. The gremlin kind of witnessed some of this stuff.
Yeah.
And the gremlin is upstairs. And then my friend's like, what the hell? My friend, she's ready to run him over with the car. She was telling me, she was like, I was ready to run him over. And then for some reason, la agarró con mi hermano. He was pointing the gun at me, but then he's like, get the fuck out of the car. Telling my brother to get out of the car to fight him. I'm like, for what? I just want my kid. You're the one doing all these bad things, and I'm always the one having to pay for them. The gremlin's coming downstairs, and he's occupied with my brother, that I grab the gremlin. I'm like, get in the car. So I get him in the car. We both get in the car, and we leave. And we called the cops on him, but since we didn't have their apartment number, I didn't have his right address, they didn't find him. But I did make a police report about it. Until this day, he's always like, that never happened.
That's crazy. So... To this day, you guys don't co-parent or no?
Well, we tried. We have tried a couple times after that. After all that happened, a CPS case was opened. And, they tried to talk to him, communicate with him a couple times, and he just wouldn't talk to them at all. right? Mind you, I didn't tell my mom this. Like, I didn't tell my mom he pulled up. Till this day, this is how she's going to find out. Because my mom doesn't know he pulled the gun on me. But,
That's crazy.
yo no sé, el instinto de mamá was just like, bitch, you're not scared, you're getting your kid. So I got him, and the whole CPS case happened. After that, I think it was like maybe a year passed. And like I did it, like I was like, I'm not speaking to that motherfucker. Like, there's no way you're gonna be, because at that point, como que I was like, le da beneficio estar ahí como papá de mi hijo, or like, am I hurting him?
Yeah, is it harming him?
Yeah, because like he's seeing these kinds of things, you know what I'm saying? And a kid shouldn't be seeing those things. Like, as much as I want his father to be there, it's just not worth like all this that I'm going through. So I kind of just me alejé. And he had his kid and whatever, like he was living his life and I was living my life with the gremlin. So I think it was the gremlin's second grade. Like he was going to start second grade. And mind you, my mom doesn't know. We're still living at my mom's because some of the stuff would still get to me. Like I was like, how am I going to get out of my parents' house? Like I'm 25 and I'm still at my parents' house. Like I'm a single mom. How am I going to do it? Like I'm working this job, but it's just not paying me enough to move out.
Like you don't feel yourself advancing.
Right. Like I felt stuck in the same place over and over again. And as much as I wanted to try to do it, like I still had a kid full time. So how was I going to do it? One day, like whenever, I think it was a week before he started second grade, he comes to my door and drops off some clothes. Mind you, I wasn't there. I think I was at work. And my mom opened the door. And my son hadn't seen him in that long. But my mom didn't know all that stuff was happening. So she opened the door for him. She was like, he hasn't seen him. Like, I feel bad. That's his dad at the end of the day. But I'm like, you don't know what this man has put me through, literal hell. She opened up the door for him. And he contacted me like a week after that. Because he had seen my son. And he was like, hey, like, I have grown up. Like, I really want to be a dad. Like, I want to be a dad for him. Like, I known him my whole life, because even though he wasn't consistently there, he knew. He was like, I want to be a dad. Like, I feel like we could co-parent. I'm sorry for everything I did. Like, nothing like that's ever gonna happen. And I was like, okay. Like, I was just kind of scared because I didn't know the level of craziness. And even with the CPS case, like, they were like, if you're ever gonna co-parent with him, make sure like you meet up at a police station. Like, he could be dangerous.
Like somewhere public.
I don't know why. I was just like, you know what? Like, because I had moved on. It had been a year and I had gained so much more confidence. I had started posting a little bit. That's what got me into like posting on social media, was just going through that breakup. I was so alone. Like, and I had my friends, of course, and they were always there. But I just feel like I just needed to talk to somebody else that wasn't my friend. So that's why I started posting. Like, I was going through a breakup. I was feeling like shit, and that's really what got me through, like, the breakup itself.
Like,
and
posting?
Yeah. Like, I just started posting, like, random stuff, mom stuff, little stuff I was doing. And, like, one person, two people would watch it and would comment, and I would be so geeked. Like, I'm like, I have other friends. Like, it feels like somebody else is there, right? So I just kept posting, and I think maybe I had, like, 20K or something. So it just gave me like a little confidence boost. Like, I'm like, maybe I could do this little influencer thing. And I was mainly thinking like about my son. Like, I was like, if I can like make an income from just being online, like we can do, like we can get our own place. I can grow, like, because I really want to go to school. So I was like, I can go to school and not have to work. I agreed with him to co-parent. And he started coming around. He would pick him up like every other week, right? And it just got to the point where every time he would pick him up, I would have to drop him off or pick him up. And I'm like, dude, I'm there 100% of the time, giving 100% of my effort. Y tú con tu 25%, like ya te crees. Yeah. And like, he would just like be mad that like whenever I would be like, hey, can you pick him up or can you drop him off? Because you only see him on weekends. I feel like it's your responsibility to pick him up or drop him off. And I think what like made the cookie crumble, I just kind of got fed up of it. And my son really didn't like being there. Because every time he would go over there, either him and his girlfriend would fight and he would have to come home. Or something with them. Like, they always got something going on. Because at the end of the day, like, my baby daddy is my baby daddy. Yeah. So, like, he's still going to be him. Whether he's with this person or that person, like, he would still be him. So, like, there was plenty of times where my son had to come home because they were fighting or it got crazy or physical and he had to come home. And he's going through all the trauma that he had passed with him. So one day, I remember I was like, you know what? Just drop him off. Like, I'm not picking him up. Like, I'm tired of doing that. I'm already here like 100% of the time. I don't think I should be the one picking him up.
Yeah.
And then he just starts going off on me. He's like, you're a bitch. Like, just starts like cussing me out. You're a fat bitch. You fucking whore. You don't want to come pick up your son. His bitch is there. And Aiden's on the phone with, like, mind you, I'm talking to Aiden on the phone. Like, I'm on the phone with the gremlin, and he's in the background yelling
like
all this stuff.
talking shit.
Yeah. And my son's like, I'm so mad, Mom. Like, I want to hit my dad. I'm like, no. Like, you're not going to do that.
Like, you started seeing that it was getting,
yeah.
to your son now.
Yeah, and mind you, prior to this, like, I try to be so nice to him because, like, a couple months into us co-parenting, because we only co-parent for a couple months, he tried to get with me again. Like, he tried to clap these cheeks, and I was like, you're not clapping nothing. And I didn't even tell his girl that because I was like, we're already, like, at a good co-parenting stage. I don't want to mess up what they got going on because I'm healed. Like, I'm happy. Life is going well. That I didn't want to mess up their relationship or whatever. Because he apologized to me. He was like, I'm sorry. Like, I messed up. If I never had a kid with her, like, I wouldn't be with her. And, like, just telling me all this stuff or whatever. That he thought I was just going to be like, yeah, like.
Like de pendeja otra vez.
Yeah.
Perdonarlo,
I'm like, la pendeja está en el pasado. Ahora, like, this is Tati. Like, you got me fucked up. So that day, whenever he had cussed me out and did all that, like, with my son, like, I was like, that's it for me. Like, I asked the gremlin. Mainly, I always put the gremlin first because even before the co-parenting thing, I asked him because I didn't want to put my differences aside for a little bit. But even when we started co-parenting, I was like, Gremlin, like, do you want to see your dad again? And he was like, I do. So I was like, you know what? Whatever you want, we're going to do it. Because I don't ever want to have a say-so or me interfere in the relationship because that has nothing to do with me, you know? So that day, the gremlin was just like, Mom, I don't want to see my dad again. The gremlin was the one that told me, he's like, I don't want to see my dad again. I don't like the way he talks to you. And I don't like the way he talks to his girlfriend. He's like, and I don't like being there, period. Because he hadn't told me. Like, he's like, I don't like being there. I don't feel comfortable. Like, it's just, like, I like being with you. I want to be with you all the time. And that's when I was like, what the gremlin says, that's what goes.
Se va a hacer, yeah.
Se va a hacer, because if he wants a relationship with him, then that's going to be it. If he doesn't want it, then he doesn't want it. I'm not going to force my kid to have a relationship with a parent that is not a parent.
Ya para terminar de este tema, give us a piece of advice or unas palabras for anyone watching at home that is probably in a situation like yourself or is going through, a really toxic relationship y a lo mejor no sienten como que se pueden salir de esa relación.
I feel like the biggest piece of advice is have some faith in yourself. Like, you could do it. If I could do it, like, I had nothing. Y'all could do it. Like, you could definitely get out of it, and don't get stuck in a cycle, because if they don't change the first time or the second time, baby, they're not going to change any longer. You need to get yourself out. And honestly, like, see me as an example. I would not be here at all. Because I couldn't even be myself or like wear what I wanted to wear with him, because if I wore something that was out of character, oh, I'm a whore. So like, I couldn't even be me when I'm with that person. And I feel like in those toxic relationships, like, you lose yourself so bad that you don't remember, like, you're a chingona. Like, you can do this, whether it's a man or a woman. Get out what you can, because that's the best thing that's going to happen to you, literally.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel that way. Like, I didn't think I was going to amount or do anything, but like, look at me now. Like, look at me in the gremlin. Like, we're doing it.
Yo pienso que, when people are in those situations, especially after being so tied up with someone, in a relationship, you might have felt like, what, my life's over. But little did you know that your life was just beginning. Literally. You know what I mean? God was like, you know what, te voy a dar esto porque ya sufriste tanto. Hablando de dating, the people that follow you online, they've been trying to keep up with, your little sneaky link. Por si no saben, amigas, she's been very vocal y les ha hecho muchos videos en donde, pues, she's brought you guys with her, with your little sneaky links, with your dating. What is your ideal man? And what are red flags now that you're in your dating era? What are red flags that you're like, oh my God, I see it and I'm not gonna fucking ignore it this time?
I feel like I just got back into like actually dating, but everything's a red flag to me. Like, the slightest cosita que me hacen, I'm like, no. Like, if you can't come see me, if you can't make time for me, if you supposedly don't use your phone. Baby, we're in 2025.
Yeah.
Who doesn't use their phone now, you know? So you can't check your phone here and there. But I feel like anything could be a little red flag. Like, estoy como on my toes. Like,
Yeah,
I'm on my
you're
toes.
like-
I'm like, if you don't reply to me fast enough, and maybe that's a little toxic. Like, maybe I'm a
No,
little
but that's
toxic.
good because there will be men that will meet all those criteria. You know what I mean? Because a veces yo pienso que uno de mujer, se baja sus standards because you're like, oh, well, you know what? This is as best as it's going to get. No, it gets better. And you can find that guy that will literally check every single fucking box.
Yes,
literally.
yes. So if you're looking for somebody, like, don't stop searching for them to check your boxes because, baby, there's going to be... I haven't found that man, but I know he's out there probably watching this right now. I feel like my ideal man would be like a family man, like somebody that has a good relationship with their family, somebody that could be a good role model for my gremlin. I'm not saying I'm looking for a stepdaddy, but I mean, if it happens, it happens, but he has to be a good role model. He has to have some ambition. He has to be passionate, and he better be ready to film some TikToks.
Yes, para que lo miren también en el TikTok, amigas. Hablando de TikTok, nos cuentas de que, you started doing TikTok because of everything that you were going through. It was kind of like your escape and you felt being heard. Cuéntanos, obviamente you start doing TikTok, the numbers start going up, your viewers start going up, and you start almost creating this very loyal fan base. Because one thing I will say, I feel like your girls and even the guys that follow you are literally ahí, al punto. Pasa uno otro video y todavía te andan preguntando del video que subiste hace como 2 semanas. Que update us.
Business.
They are in your business, which is a great thing. I feel like when you, as a creator, are able to have that relationship with your, with your supporters, eso es lo mejor. Porque sabes que en verdad they love you and they support you and care for you. What do you think, after being on social media now for a while, what do you think are the pros and cons of being on social media?
I feel like the pros, obviously, like, the money helps. Like, me and the gremlin are living in an apartment. Like, we're on our own.
When you guys moved out together.
Yeah, we're on our own. We've been living on our own for like a year now. So it's helped a lot. Like, my life is a lot different. We're able to do a couple more things that, we wanted to do. I get to buy him whatever he needs. And, like, I don't need my baby daddy. Like, I don't even need his child support.
Yeah.
Like, that man's on child support. Don't pay child support, baby. It's okay. Mama
Keep
got
it.
Yeah,
Yes.
mama got it. So financially, I feel like that helps a lot. The support and the love I get is like, it's like nothing I ever experienced before. Like, it just feels so good to know that, like, people that I don't even know love me that much. Like, it's crazy. Like, it really is. And they are very loyal. Like, I feel like I get a lot more love than I do hate, That's why, like, I was a little kind of scared about the podcast because I'm like, y'all are going to see me in and out.
But I feel like I love that. Estaba contando a Tati, you guys, because I feel like just with this interview, obviamente yo te sigo online and I love you. I love how bubbly you are. I love how entertaining you are. But I feel like, as a viewer, I love this because it's like, damn, she's so real. She's gone through so much shit. Que yo sé que a lo mejor already the people that already view you and love your content, maybe they can relate and be like, what the fuck? I didn't know she went through that. Y yo también. And I feel like, this is what I was telling Tati, you guys, that this is a reason why I love doing the podcast, because it really does give you like another POV into your favorite creators. Porque yo siempre digo esto, yo pienso que a veces as a viewer han de mirar también como uno, right? Alan, wow, he has a studio, he has a podcast, he has this, le va bien, tiene dinero, tiene vistas, tiene esto, otro. But it's like, no siempre fue así. Even then, uno todavía is going through shit. You know what I mean?
You're still human at
You're
the end
still
of the day.
human.
And I feel like a lot of online people forget that.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I'm a mom, and like, I feel this is where we get to the negative part of it. I feel like so many people get a look into your life, and you do show them parts of your life that you want them to see. I'm a little raw in there. I kind of show them a little bit of everything. But just the judgment that comes with it, I feel like sometimes can be hard, like, because people won't understand you, and not everybody's going to understand your decisions or what you do, And especially as a mom, I feel like I get certain negative things, but I'm literally just a girl. Like, this is my first time being a mom. This is my first everything. So I'm literally just trying to navigate through life itself too. I feel like a lot of people forget that about moms. Like, they're just like, tienen que ser strong. They have to be moms. Like, we're just girls at the end of the day. Like,
y luego yo pienso que al fin del día la has cagado y la vas a seguir cagando. ¿Por qué? Porque that is what being a human is. Hoy digo, güey, like, that's so crazy that someone that I'm like, wow, she's so positive, like, se mira muy contenta siempre, has gone through so much shit. And it really is refreshing, you know, as a creator, it's scary to open up because you're opening up yourself to judgment. You're opening up to people dissecting your story and being like, wait, but why'd you do that? But it's like, no, it's like at the end of the day, bitch, this is who I am. This is what I come with. And, you know, no todo lo que hago y no todo lo que he hecho les va a caer bien, but soy buena persona.
Or it's gonna make sense at the end of the day, but this is what made me me. Like, y como yo digo, like, yo tomo responsabilidad.
Yeah.
Fui pendeja. Like, I was dumb and I did shit over and over again. Y yo creo que era Dios. Like, Dios me está diciendo, deja de ser tan estúpida, levántate. Like, how many times do I gotta show you this is not the man for you? You know, until I was like, you know what? No es.
I listen, te escucho, Dios. Ay, no, en verdad que sí, I've loved this episode. Ya para terminar, te voy a dejar con la última pregunta. ¿En dónde te miras tú en los próximos 5 años as a mom, as a creator? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Honestly, I don't know. Like, this journey has just been crazy. Like, this just happened out of nowhere. Like, it was like a dream. I feel like even, like, when I was pregnant, I would film little videos. Like, I have videos of me trying to, like, be a YouTuber or whatever. And I was like, I can't do this. Like, no puedo hacer esto. Pero solo estando aquí es como una nueva, like, door that opened for me. Like, it just feels, like, so good. Like, that my work and my consistency is finally paying off. Like, I don't know, but a lot of people ask me too if I want to have more kids. And if the right man comes, baby, I'll give him a baby. But if it doesn't, me and the gremlin till it's backwards. Like, it's just going to be me and the gremlin. I just see myself, I feel like I can do some big things. Like, social media has blessed me a lot. And I'm very grateful for all my bitches out there. I love them. Like, they're literally part of me at this point. Hopefully we're doing a lot better. Hopefully we can hit 1 million by the end of the year. And I just want to be the best mom I can, you know. Aunque tenga que aprender, aunque me caiga y me levante 1000 veces, like, I'm just going to try to be the best I can.
And I'm so excited to see, you know, your journey y de ver en dónde vas a estar en los próximos, no nomás 5 años, pero en 1 año. Yo sé que allá en casita les encantó esta entrevista. And I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and sitting down y contarnos un poquito más de quién eres tú.
Thank you so much, Alan, for having me. This is a great opportunity. And I like, it feels so good to finally tell my story, and y'all know that I'm not just Virgo Tati. Like, I've been through some shit.
No si quieren, porque esto no es algo de que si quieren. Vayan, agarren su teléfono, amigas, and follow her on all her social medias, which I'll leave down below, as well as on the screen right here, right now. Y también no se les olvide seguirme a mí so you guys won't miss any future episodes. And with that being said, amigas, thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yay!